And what a shot from Kirica, taking that off the ceiling, underneath the ball, and straight down the middle.
Oh, there it is, out of the blue!
2 seconds left on the clock and the Joker finds something out of nothing!
Now, that pass from Shadow was immaculate, playing it straight down center. Hecky just had to get a touch, and it's all he needed.
Sonic has a chance, it's an open net if he sees it. Looking for the shot downfield, goes into the corner, Kilogram! He gets the goal!
They're just in front of the net. Nuke barely keeps it out there, dies on the goal line. The long shot, it finds it through. Into Z, gonna pick it up.
We are live. RSC Season 3, League Play Week 6. We are on the downhill, ladies and gentlemen, for this season. We have Week 6, Week 7, Week 8, Week 9, and then bang, we're into the playoffs. We are pretty much bang on the halfway stage of this third season, which is unbelievable thinking about how much time we took to get going. My name is Greybeard, and it is a pleasure as always to be with you. And I was thinking of just chilling and thrilling for a bit and waiting for the hordes of people to arrive, because in chat we have Brady, Jerome, Tubbsy, and now Genie. How's it, guys? Where are your friends? Get your friends here. Week 6, lots going on, but first up, as we often do, we gotta say a massive shout out to our sponsors, giving us cash and broadcast. So first of all, Nixa giving us the prize pool, 18 grand, which will be split up after the playoffs, depending on who wins, who loses, who comes second, and all of that good stuff. And then Genisus Extreme bringing us world-class broadcast for our community league and our community stream. Massive shout out to them and the work they continue to do to improve as we go. And then, so a couple announcements as we head on over toward our games tonight. First up, this weekend is the final of the Rebellion, the mid-season tournament. We have 4 best-of-7 grand finals to play, and we're going to be doing that on, well, here's the trick. It's either going to be Saturday or it is going to be Sunday, and it depends on the following. We are looking for someone who wants to stream those finals, and if we can find a streamer, we'll do it on Saturday. I'm just not available all of Saturday, but if not, it'll be on Sunday, and then I will be streaming, hosting, casting, making coffee for everyone, and possibly late afternoon snacks for the entire chat. So if you're keen, if you fancy yourself a streamer and would like to get involved, do hit me up and let's see if we can get you streaming for Saturday. But do not miss it. Stay tuned to Twitter and socials and all of that good stuff, and you'll get the exact times of that mid-season tournament. And then don't forget our merch. We're running out of time. You are running out of time to order your t-shirt. It's 290 rand, and the proceeds will go straight back into the league. And this is a one-of-a-kind Season 3 RSC SSA piece of merch, so get it soon. And all right, let's start moving toward tonight. But let's have a look at where we are currently, so you can see what has come before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 broadcasts have been done. This is number 6. 3 after this, and then 4 nights of playoffs, 1 for each tier. And that's where we are, 14th of October, bang on this week number 6. And in week number 6, and for a long time, we've been talking about how there's lots of time to get things going and for teams to recover. We're now heading toward the pointy end. The teams in the lower half of the table and the franchises are running out of time to make their way up. And DSQ, man, they have been rocking this out the gate. They've pretty much been up there every single week. They remain so. They have an astonishingly good record. 80 games played, 53 of those won, 66% win rate. Right behind my franchise, Dynasty, are chasing them, just 3 points behind, but tied with Critical Force. And then at the bottom, for Templar, I had a scrim last night with their new rival roster, and I was pretty impressed. I think they're going to do well with that new roster, so maybe they can start to climb their way out of 10th place and battle out with Redirect, UnitOx, and Order of Okes. And that brings us to our schedule tonight. No DSQ, our top franchise, none of their games being played on stream tonight. But we have quite a diverse selection. We have 2 rival games, 1 prospect game, and 1 master game. First up, we're going to have Gelfie versus the Jawlers, and then the Crusaders versus the Jokers. That's the Fort Templar prospect team. Alpha Force and Nguni in master, and then Prolific and Nightfall. So that's what we're bringing to you tonight. And for our first two series, our casters are going to be RhinoCast and Skilton. Gentlemen, it's another week. It's week 6. Skilton, it feels like I was just talking to you last week about coming. Hey, how would you like to come and cast for RSC? And now all of a sudden, you're just about a veteran.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to be back. I've been here on both splits of the bracket stage so far. So, you know, we're now into week 6. This is starting to get quite scary for the teams, as DSQ is at the very top of the leaderboard. It's up to your Dynasty Greybeard as well as all the other teams. So really start scraping these dubs, because otherwise it's just going to be a DSQ powerhouse.
And then Rhino, are you still gliding on the high of the weekend's LAN? You were co-casting with Stumpy, an epic RSC EU LAN in London. Looks like you guys had an amazing time, and you're feeling one of two things. You're either still on the high, or you've hit the depression of it's all over.
You know what, Gravid? I all through this week, it's been both, right? At times it's been, oh my goodness, what an experience, awesome. And then at times it's been, oh man, it's over, I just want to go back. But to me, that just means we need to host some more LANs. Do you know what I mean? So we're all good. But yeah, Greybeard, it's been fantastic. I'm super excited to be back casting for some RSC SSA. You got some fantastic matches tonight. And we're getting to the business end of the season. It's starting to happen. So yeah, excited to see what happens tonight.
Well, we might as well get to that action. So, gentlemen, I'm going to hand it over to you. Bring us the first two series of the night in the best way that you can.
It will be the best way that we can. The first game of tonight is UnitOx Gelfie versus Order of Okes Jawlers. It's a huge game in Rival. Gelfie just at the moment out of those playoff spots, but it is not going to be long before they get up there if they get a few wins together. Jawlers, on the other hand, playing incredibly well. Undefeated on the season. The only team in Rival tier. 0 losses on the record. Skilton, it's going to be a tough job for UnitOx tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. They can't... Yeah, and really it's up to them to just disrupt the match here today. I feel like Order of Okes has been really powerful so far, and you know, what would you say has been the thing that have made Okes such a strong competitor this series?
It's a tough thing to say, but one of the big things that does stand out from this Order of Okes side is 3 draws. These guys have beastie mentality, right? They know how to stay in a series. They don't know when to quit. They are going to fight for every single game, and it's something that we make a point of every single RSC season. Every game matters across those 9 weeks. And here you can see the current standings for the season. We talked about it a moment ago, but there you see it on the right-hand side of the Jawlers record. 0 losses, and Skilton, that is pretty much it, right? I mean, they've got those win-loss records. You can see them there. That's all well and good. It is that mentality that Order of Okes Jawlers have that makes them scary for other teams.
I couldn't agree more, but you know, this level of safety from Jawlers isn't enough to put them in the top spot, right? You've got Viola there, which is 4-0-1. Sure, they've lost one game, but that high risk, high reward has really turned into their favor here, as they've been able to secure a 70% win rate in comparison to Jawlers 60. They really need to make that final push to be really pushing the top of this bracket. But you know, Gelfie, on the other hand, is really just looking to upset. As we see, the stats don't lie. They're looking at the 40% win rate in this bracket, and you know, it kind of puts them in this underdog position. But I love to see that, Rhino. I love to see the underdogs always shining. It shows that they do have the potential here, and I feel like we're going to see something absolutely amazing today.
There's a chance that we will. Right in front of you is the UnitOx rival team. Stolsey captains the lineup with Tubsy Akropovich is what I'm going to go with, and Karma at the bottom of that table, but they've all played their parts across this season. This is a very well put together side. 1-1-3 at the moment, but that win percentage is something that people are going to be fearing quite a lot. 8 wins when you've got a record of 1-1-3 is still pretty impressive, Skilton.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. I mean, this roster definitely does show capability. They definitely are able to create an absolute spectacle in this series here tonight. But what we're actually going to see pull through in comparison to this unyielding side from the side of Jewelers. I mean, look at these stats once again. We've got Mr. Green, Zadomino, Sfaulcon, and Hannibal. They've obviously been able to conquer their spot with the 3 draws. Has been a bit unfortunate. Yeah. But regardless to say, their 20 games and 12 wins is very respectable in this side of the ladder. So what would you say are things that we need to see from the side of Gelfi in order for them to secure this win?
It's going to be really tough for them, I'm not going to lie. But for me, Gelfi needs to be a very together unit. They need to be assured on defense. If you can keep this Jawlers roster out, it's going to be difficult for them for sure. They do not have one of the best attacks in the league. Actually, I'm lying. They have the 3rd highest goal scored in the league out of 10. But they also have one of the highest goals conceded in the league, 44. That is also, that's the 4th highest goals conceded in the league. So other than 2 bottom ones. So their defense is a little bit shaky. If you're able to shore up that defense as Gelfi, there's a chance that you come through and make it difficult for the Jawlers side.
Well, I mean, that is something we've been saying, that the Jawlers are unyielding once again. But, you know, the strongest defense is the strongest defense, right? Some people say. So let's see. It's going to be a battle of mentality here from the side of Gelfi versus the Jawlers. Who's going to be able to win? We'll be throwing ourselves onto the pitch very soon. But I'm just very curious to see, where does this fit into the big picture? Because both of these rosters, as we're throwing in, are competing for the top spot against DSQ. As we see an instant goal here from the side of Gelfi. This is exactly what an upset looks like right now.
It's a fantastic start from Gelfi, and if they can now take this forwards and start to frustrate the Jawlers, that will be a wonderful start to game number 1 for them, of course. We play all 4 games here in RSC. It's a best of 4. Draws can happen in league play, and Gelfi know that all too well. But so do Jawlers. 3 draws on the season. Going to be tubbzy trying to get around the side. Akrapovic looking for the pass inside. Gets around 1. A teammate comes through, but it will be saved away. tubbzy looking for this shot. Will go wide. Sebastian doesn't deal with it. There's another one coming in, but the 51. An Order of Okes defense looks a little bit ropey at the moment.
Yeah, but it is just a back and forth here. I think that initial opening goal from Gelfi has really turned the tables here of how we're going to be spectating this match. As right now, it's just up for the Jawlers to try and get possession of this ball, push it into the corner that they have found, but nicely denied by Stolsey. A demo there is going to disrupt the pitch, as it looks like we're looking at an aerial. A nice little pinch there, but nothing to be pushing for. Back into the corner of Gelfi. They're starting to feel the pressure, pushing it back out. Domino's just trying to find some setup here. He's not going to be able to find it, as it doesn't quite hit the backboard. Going onto the side of Jawlers' pitch, and they don't have the players up just yet to tap it out. And yeah, once again, we're seeing a bit of back and forth. Wait, hang on, the ball has been self-scored. Another one for the side of Gelfi. This is complete madness.
Oh, is that off Domino? Stolsey comes through and finishes the job. But yeah, that's a rough one for Jawlers. When all 3 of your players are around the same position, that's a really difficult place to be. You never want that to happen in a game of Rocket League. Hang on a moment, maybe a third Domino is going to be there to clear it away. But I tell you what, this UnitOx roster, they have come into the server today to play. It's going to be Mr. Green getting a reset, trying to get the bump now. It is cleared away. Stolsey gets it past 1 down the right-hand side. Mr. Green trying to collect. tubbzy trying to predict that and does get a touch on it as well. Clearance not quite there from Mr. Green, but Domino takes it forwards. Has Stolsey to beat, won't do so. Into the corner. And UnitOx Gelfi, they have started game number 1 very hot indeed.
Yeah, Mr. Green feeling code red right now as he's currently feeling the pressure. He's starting to close towards Jeweler's goal once again. We're seeing this corner play come through. A nice little tap there. But it's not going to be enough. Stolzy disrupting. And once again, we're just seeing Jewelers. We've said that this team has a strong mentality, right? A 2-goal lead isn't going to be enough to take them out on the count, especially when they got 2.5 minutes left. They nearly found the opportunity there, but no one was able to follow. That being said, Mr. Green needs to catch this before another goal is scored by TheBromeo. This is a beautiful game we have seen so far by the side of UnitOx.
Yeah, and I think I'm right in saying that's a team hat trick, right? Everyone on Gelfi scored a goal. I think Akrapovic got the first one off the kickoff. Then it was Stolzy off the second. And hang on a moment, maybe another one. Mr. Green with the clearance. Domino now puts that one inside. There's a chance here for UnitOx again, cleared away. And I have to say, I do not think this is the kind of game that UnitOx Gelfi thought they were going to have today. They are playing absolutely incredibly well. And Order of Okes must be shell-shocked. Mr. Green does get a goal back for the Okes. And maybe, just maybe, there's a way back into this. Still 2 minutes left on the clock. And that is going to be difficult to respond to.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a nice goal there, showing the resilience of this Jewelers roster. 2 minutes left on the clock. And we're going to need to see 2 goals to make this even, to bring it into the overtime. That being said, we're looking at more pressure from the side of Gelfi. They've been so strong. Once again, this strong offense is really disrupting the pace of Jewelers. That being said, they're able to get it back out into the center of the pitch, but not for long. Another shot missed by the side of Gelfi. They're going to push it back into the corner. Mr. Green looking to tap it out, get some pressure out once again, but it's a back and forth tug of war for both teams right now. They're not able to secure the position they need. Another touch up, but it's going to be countered once again. Mr. Green slowly getting the pace of this ball onto the side of Gelfi, going back into the corner once again. Stolzy finds the corner, and that's going to be a 3-goal lead once again.
Wow, UnitOx Gelfi. I said before the game that I wanted them to be assured on defense. They've done the complete opposite. They've just started to hammer the Jewelers goals, shot after shot after shot, keep them penned back. And they have done incredibly well at that job. Jewelers struggling, and maybe this is something that their season shows, right? The 3 draws, maybe they start series a little bit slowly and start to pick up towards the end of the series. That is something that UnitOx will have to watch for. Domino into the corner. There's going to be a chance. It's going to be cleared away. Stolzy gets the 50. Something else that's worth noting is we talked earlier about DSQ Viola being 4-0-1. The one loss they've had this season is, you guessed it, to Order of Okes Jewelers. So there is, there's a lot on the line here. I can't imagine they expected to be in this position after game number 1. I mean, 25 seconds left. Never say never, but I think, Skilton, at this point, we can start to maybe at least put the first few letters on the word never.
Absolutely. I mean, 13 seconds left and they need 3 goals. This is mission impossible for the side of Jewelers, as their jaws must be dropping after this first game loss. 3 seconds, the ball's in the air, but it won't be for long. The 0-second rule might not be enough to keep the dream alive, as the ball once again goes into the goal. Oh, barely not, actually. For the side of UnitOx, they have gone away with this with colors on their side, and what a performance we're seeing here, especially from Stolzy. An incredible scoreline to aid this first game of the series.
Yeah, and you can see every single statistic there pretty much in the favor of UnitOx. Even saves, which I'm quite surprised by, but that's 4-3 in favor of UnitOx. They were everywhere over the field, and the graph in the bottom right is correct. Not the numbers. It's 63% field domination for UnitOx Gelfi. And I have to say, Skilton, I actually thought it might have been more. They absolutely dominated that game.
I couldn't agree more. I don't think I really saw many times where you know, the Jewelers were able to actually cross their side of the pitch. It just felt so dominant from the side of Gelfi, and once again, it is going to be a battle of these play styles we're seeing between the calm and collected Jewelers and the fiery inferno aggression of Gelfi. It's definitely something of a spectacle we're going to be seeing in this series. And I just really am curious. I don't know about you, Reiner, but how will Jewelers be able to recover from something like this?
I think the magnitude of the loss is actually going to help them in this case, right? You lost by 3 goals. You kind of just mental reset and go again. If I was in that position, it's like, okay, we lost that game. We really struggled. That's fine. Let's figure out what we didn't do so well. And one of them was scoring goals. And finally, that ball goes over the line. A comedy of errors on the goal line. 3 miss from Gelfi. And then 1 goes by, but it's Mr. Green who finishes the job off. Order of Oaks take the lead in game number 2. That is going to settle a lot of nerves.
Absolutely. This is the first time we've seen so far this series where Gelfi is going to have to play catch-up. It's only just started. Once again, a nice opening goal for this series. But Jewelers being in the lead, this is going to definitely change up the pace, especially for the side of Gelfi, who thrive so much off of this aggression. As we see, they're pinned into the corner. What a goal from Domino! That's going to be an absolute ripple within the pitch. And once again, let's get that highlight. That is a beautiful reposition there. And yeah, once again, yeah. The defense of Gelfi has been absolutely shattered before minutes even struck the clock. 2-goal lead from Jewelers. How do they come back from this for the side of Gelfi?
Well, the good thing is they're 2 goals down with still over 4 minutes on the clock. Time is on their side. As this ball goes out to the far side, it's going to be Tubbsy who tries to get around this one. Does pick it up, but just loses possession. So will be picked up by Order of Oaks, but Akrapovic moving down the right-hand side, looking to take a dribble through. Just doesn't quite get the angles right. And it will be cleared by Order of Oaks once again. And this is a big concern, this transitional period for Order of Oaks. Gelfi struggled to get back on their line. This time they've done very well at it. Tubbsy from the corner wanted something, isn't going to find it. And I was going to mention in between games, actually, that I worry if Order of Oaks are able to get those transitional plays, those counter-attacks moving forwards, then I wonder if UnitOx Gelfi are going to be put off a little bit. They were so used to being camped in Order of Oaks' half last game that the minute that those quick rotations come through from Jewelers, I worry that they're going to be able to keep up with it. And here is another chance. Ball into the middle will be cleared away for the moment. Sebastian trying to keep it alive, but UnitOx now might be able to spark a counter-attack of their own. It's shot down, but cleared away by Domino, and Order of Oaks still have pretty good domination of this game so far. And here should be another one. Sebastian gets a third.
This is definitely something the stats were indicating. This is what we were expecting to see this series. An absolute machine of Jewelers right now. And currently, this is 2 very contrasting games back to back. The side of Gelfi that felt so momentum heavy, the inferno that Jewelers couldn't blaze, and now it just feels like Jewelers have this game in the palm of their hands. I feel like Gelfi are really struggling to get possession as we see another push from Sebastian into the corner. Trying to get some control once again. Domino is going to be bringing it up and wasn't really able to be adjusted. Trajectory just slightly off. And now it's for the side of Gelfi to try and make a counter-attack. They don't find it. Gets disrupted. Back into the corner. Still, Stolze is able to play, but it's just going to go back into the other side of the corner. This is really awkward for the side of Gelfi. It's just going to be counteracted once again. The ball isn't quite tapped in the right direction. Going to be putting it up onto the sidewall. Some nice control here, but it's not going the right way. The ball's so close to the goal, but readjusted from the backboard. Going to be pushed into the side of Gelfi once again. Misses, and that could have been the 4th goal for the Jewelers.
Really could. As now Order of Oaks are going to take over this one. Ball in field. 3 goals to find in a minute 40. It's going to be difficult for Gelfi to get that together. Mr. Green onto the backboard finds Domino, who knocks them down once again. 2 goals on the game for Domino, and this one is an absolute beauty with authority down into the middle of the Gelfi net, and that is 4-0 to Order of Okes. They turn around to UnitOx and say, whatever you can do, we can do better.
Absolutely, and look at this ball just go down the center of the pitch. No one was able to contest. And once again, Jewelers have this round in the palm of their hands. 1 minute 20 on the clock, and Gelfi need 4 goals to be able to come back from this. The aggression has been lacking so far. This game 2 on the pitch, and currently it's just any sort of desperate play right now. A really nice dribble from the side of Bubusz, but he's not able to find anything. Once again, going back into the corner. 1 minute remaining. It's just looking so good for the side of Jewelers. Not even a demo is going to be able to assist here because SWFC is able to block, disrupt the pace, but this could be nice. It was disrupted once again. Beautiful defense from the side of Jewelers. Anything Gelfi can do, Jewelers are just doing better right now as Mr. Green is looking to do a victory lap. A nice little touch there, but it isn't able to be followed. 30 seconds remaining. It's just up for the Jewelers to play time. Play with the food.
Yeah, they don't need to do too much here. Ball off the backboard. Chance for Mr. Green, who will find the bottom left-hand corner. And it is wonderful from Order of Okes. 20 seconds left on the clock. 5 goals to the good now. Order of Okes Jewelers are very much going to win game number 2. And we know they love a draw, right? We know that is the situation of Order of Okes. They are on track to get that one at the moment. I'm sure they'll want to win, but they are certainly back in this series with this victory in game number 2. And I have to say, Skilton, they look a lot more settled than they were in game 1.
Absolutely. It feels like the machine has finally had a chance to oil. They're in full motion right now. And with 1 second left on the clock, we're on the 0-second rule. Ball goes down, and just a beautiful show of control from Order of Okes. That was amazing to say the least, and a complete contrast of game 1.
Oh my goodness. Have a look at that. Although field domination 50-50, UnitOx still very much in that game, just weren't able to make as much of their kind of forward play as they were in game number 1, which let Order of Okes back in. But I mean, yeah, you look at the big metrics, points, goals, shots, all in favor of Order of Okes. Very deserved winners for game 2. And that sets up a very interesting game 3, Skilton. One of these two teams is going to lock in a draw in that game. And who do you give the momentum to right now after that one?
Well, I mean, something I'm noticing so far in this series is Flosee is really trying to carry the side of Gelfi. I feel like they've definitely been trying to make as many plays as possible. We saw those shots in the stats that they're clearly trying to find the opportunities, but the pace of Order of Okes was unmatched in that game too. It was the whole roster of Order of Okes that just put the pitch in order. They had full control here.
Yeah, they did. And they looked very, very settled, as we've kind of said. They have the third best attack for a reason. When they get it clicking, when they get it working in the server, they look so, so good. And unfortunately, Gelfi were on the receiving end of that. But what will happen in game number 3? Will it be another Order of Okes victory, or will Gelfi secure themselves minimum of a draw in this series? Skilton, let's find out.
Absolutely, and as we see kickoff, we don't see an initial goal go off straight away, which kind of leads me to believe that this is going to be once again a very different game to the rest of the series, as no one is able to take that initial momentum control. A bit of pressure here for the side of Gelfi, but they're able to bring it back to the middle of the pitch once again. Domino looking to take control, kind of misses there. And right now, it's just a complete brawl for the ball. Mr. Green sees the green light on the traffic light and is going to go, but once again denied. Domino getting set up, doesn't go straight to the backboard. No one's able to follow up. And right now, Gelfi looking to make the push, goes onto the side once again. And it's just going to be a couple of misses here. Akropovic not able to find anything. And he's going back into the corner once again for Gelfi. Wait, this is looking very disruptive. Domino trying to get possession, trying to deny, but Stolzy once again, the key lead of this roster, trying to get some momentum, denied. It's a back and forth tug of war.
As Stolzy now going to try and get this one. Domino can't get there first. The ball in field will be picked up by Akrapovic, now trying to move down the left-hand side. Cuts in, gets a demo over the second, but Domino's going to be there on the goal line to make sure everything stays above board as Stolzy. Big clearance on that one. Now looking to move down the right-hand side. It's popping that one up for a teammate. Mr. Green goes by. There's a chance for Tubsy, but Domino once again, second big save so far in this game number 3. And this is Order of Oaks shutting up shop, trying to keep Gelfi out and make sure all of those shots have someone back to make the save. They're doing a good job right now of annoying and disrupting Gelfi, but that stops almost immediately. The caster curse is real and alive in RSC SSA. The ball missed by Mr. Green, and Tubsy will finish into an empty net for 1-0.
Absolutely, and I can't stress enough how important this match is, this specific game for the side of Gelfi. Right now they are 1-1. If they draw this, they're going to be they're in a very dangerous situation. It's week 6 Rhino, and if they aren't able to secure the next 2 wins, they're really going to be looking to staying in the bottom section, the bottom ladder of this bracket. So it's up to Gelfi to really disrupt the pace here. And right now, Jawlers, they're 1 goal down, but we've seen them be able to come back from more difficult situations. As we see Mr. Green pushing up here. 2 minutes 20 left on the clock. And it's in the corner of Jawlers. This is another opportunity for Gelfi maybe to find something. Domino is actually going to bring it right to the corner of Gelfi instead. The setup is starting to look good for Jawlers. They're starting to find something here. Going to be disrupted by Stolzy, collected by Bubusz. And Sivashan is able to collect that. Not going to be getting any goals from one side of the pitch here today. 2 minutes left on the clock. And I feel like it's still anyone's game, Rhino.
It really is. Order of Oaks going to try and get around the left-hand side now. Mr. Green does not have the better of Stolzy there. Akrapovic looking for something inside. Sivashan cannot follow. Tubsy looking for a teammate. It's going to be cleared away by Domino, but Akrapovic will be there to clear this one back downfield. Double commit from Order of Oaks. Will that come back to haunt them? As there's a chance here for Stolzy, who fakes out a couple of times, then gets the better of one. Can't get past Mr. Green. Akrapovic onto the right-hand side, looking to play it in field for a teammate, but neither of these 2 teams are really able to get Bonnet on ball and be able to kind of keep possession for too long. And that is working right now in Gelfi's favor. They're the team that have the 1 goal advantage. Order of Oaks need to get forwards with possession. They need to do it soon.
Absolutely, as we're 1 minute left on the clock. 1 goal is needed for the side of Jawlers to keep the dream alive here. But right now, the pressure is on for Gelfi. Mr. Green doesn't find the opportunity. It's a bit of a mess here for the side of Jawlers. I thought they had the control, but I was so wrong. This could be really it. Just hitting the backboard there. And there's a goal. Wait, where did that come from, Mr. Green? Found it out of nowhere.
Off the backboard, Tubsy unfortunately just didn't read it as it came back off that backboard. And it's Mr. Green to finish in an empty net. This is the game of 3 goals as Jawlers and Gelfi go 1-1. But hang on just a moment. Tubsy atones for the mistake immediately. And Gelfi were only drawing for about 3 seconds before Tubsy got them back in the lead, 2-1.
I was just about to say how much Gelfi needed this round, and that clutch right there was just enough, or hopefully just enough, for these 20 seconds left on the clock to lead them to victory, to bring them to that 2-1 series match point there. And right now, 15 seconds, we're looking at the center of the pitch right now where Mr. Green is looking to push the pressure. Gelfi are starting to feel it, but it's nicely brought back, and this could be another goal. Oh, Bubusz finds it. He secures the win for the side of Gelfi. UnitOx must be thriving right now. As that is beautiful there. And with 4 seconds left on the clock, I don't believe Jewelers have an angle left.
I would be inclined to agree with you. Certainly not with that kickoff, as Stolzy's going to look maybe for one for the road. Domino clears that one away. tubbzy will turn, still keeping this ball up, still wanting more, still chasing more. As Order of Okes now try and get this one. It remains in the air. Ball will go forward. Surely will eventually hit the ground. Finally it does. And the winners that we knew would be coming since maybe 10-15 seconds ago, it's UnitOx Gelfi with the victory. But I will say this time, this game number 3, was much, much closer than the previous 2.
Yeah, and let's look at Gelfi for a second, because look at Bubusz right now. He's racking the points up compared to anyone else on the pitch, really. Domino falling short in the second, and you know, this is absolutely insane. It's a one-man band we're seeing essentially from the side of Gelfi. Before it was Stolzy having a really good impact in game 1 and 2, but it's really nice to see that the other players on the roster are really starting to shine later on in the series.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's something that is very interesting. With the 2 UnitOx games, we've kind of seen one-man games, right? Stolzy taking over in game number 1 looked fantastic across the board. In that game, it was tubbzy who had a fantastic game. They need to bring everybody together. Everyone needs to have a good game in this game number 4. Otherwise, the togetherness, the combined work of Order of Okes Jewelers is going to be too much to overcome. But we've seen them get to this point before. Jewelers still with a 0 in that loss column for the moment. They've got 5 minutes to save it from getting a 1.
Yeah, 7th in the rivals bracket, 7th in the franchise bracket. Right now, Order of Okes are really looking. Order of Okes are looking to make a difference. I'll rephrase that actually. Gelfi are 7th in the rivals bracket, looking to make a name for their own roster, whilst the Jewelers are looking. Order of Okes are looking 7th on the franchise bracket. So it really is a battle of what is the better roster, what is the better franchise. As Mr. Green is going to be making a nice play right there, 30 seconds into the match, just completely dribbling through all of the players of Gelfi.
Am I right in saying that every game so far, the team that have scored the first goal went on to win the game? I believe that to be the case.
I believe that to be the case as well, but will the case be broken here? As Gelfi once again need to get a goal, but they don't find it. Instead, it's going to be the Order of the Okes, the Jewelers, getting a lovely goal there. Once again, Stolzy not quite finding it. That's so unfortunate, but you've got 4.5 minutes left to find these 3 opportunities to win the series. Mr. Green, though, look at this pressure into the corner once again.
Oh, rule 1.
Oh, it is a rule 1.
Don't break it, Mr. Green.
Oh, he broke it.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Rule 1's still happening. This is a 2v2 for the moment as tubbzy moving inside. It's going to be Mr. Green on the right, now getting this clearance. That one might just be cause problems. The clearance from tubbzy won't get a second touch. Ball to the back post. The rule 1 broken, but it doesn't matter because so is the goal line, and it's going to be Domino to get the 3rd on the board for the Jewelers.
I mean, we're only 1 minute into this match right now. This is looking really impactful for the side of Jewelers, but I feel like Gelfi still have opportunities to come back into this. We've seen that both teams are absolute momentum monsters, but you know, this is the game to play for. Are Gelfi going to be happy with a draw despite their leaderboard standing? I don't think so. As we see, Akrapovic look for the aerial, but doesn't quite find it. It's going to be still going to the side of Jewelers. Will be touched by Domino. Trying to get some nice possession. Isn't quite found. This is some nice pressure we're seeing from Gelfi. They need to get these goals now. It's everything to play for. And Stolzy, oh, doesn't quite find it. Goes onto the backboard. And Mr. Green, we've seen him make very nice counterplay so far this game. Finds one for the team. onto the sideboard. Doesn't quite find the goal. Domino pushing it back into the side of Gylfi. And Sebastian, wait! Oh, just barely blocked by Stolzy.
Yeah, it's going to be cleared away. Domino moving inside now, cleared by tubbzy and Gylfi. If they're going to start getting back into this game, it does have to be now. The ball will be picked up by Stolzy. That's on target. Domino with the save. Maybe with the shot. Oh my goodness, hits the post.
Ooh.
Coming back and following in. Domino maybe didn't get it right on his first shot, but after hitting the post, comes through, gets past two, and it's Jawlers taking over in game number 4. It looks like that loss column will remain with a big fat donut in it for the moment for Order of Oaks.
Yeah, Jawlers are looking to draw the line this series. This really strong 2-2 standing that they're once again renowned for. Being able to draw almost any game. But here we see Mr. Green. Potentially not able to defend this. Stolzy needs to disrupt someone on this Gylfi team. Needs to be a hero right now. As 2 minutes 20 is left on the clock. The pressure is on for Jawlers' goal. They need to get 4 of these. It's looking so chaotic. A nice line, but denied. Once again, going for the tap. Akrapovic isn't able to find it. And lovely defense from the side of Jawlers. And they're going to be running back with it to the side of Gylfi's pitch. But not able to find anything. It's fine. They're just playing the time. It's up to Gylfi to be able to make these plays. And the play they find. A brilliant goal there from the side of Gylfi. TheBromeo. And the first one for the side. But this is still so scary right now.
Oh, it is. That is an unfortunate miss on the back wall for Domino. He really wanted to get that booming clearance away. Unfortunately, comes up short. But that has given Gylfi a lifeline in this game. Sebastian into the corner, onto the ceiling. Stolzy moves it inside. It's off the backboard. tubbzy looking for a demo or two. Comes up short again as Sebastian will let that one go by. Mr. Green to collect. Stolzy going by off the backboard. There's no one really following in. Akrapovic didn't have the boost to work with. tubbzy now looking forwards, looking for the bump. Won't be found. Akrapovic does have the boost now. Backboard, double touch, needs help. No one there. And Order of Oaks survive another Gylfi attack. But with it being 4-1, that's all they need to do. Just survive for the next minute and 9 seconds. There is a chance here. Will be cleared away by Jawlers once again. And as the time ticks down, Gylfi are going to get more and more desperate.
Yeah, I mean, Gylfi for a second had no boost there to work with. Thankfully, it was depleting once again. This is looking so scary. They're looking to use the final bit of boost to be able to find something, but they don't. Mr. Green counters. He realizes there was nothing for them to play for. They'd all run out of fumes, and a 5th goal for the side of Jawlers is really going to be concreting this draw for both sides.
Yeah, it's all but locked in now. 4 goals to get in 47 seconds isn't unheard of. It's not impossible, but it is very, very difficult if you don't get a couple of kickoff goals going your way. And at the moment, it's not looking like the case. tubbzy looking for a teammate, cleared by Order of Oaks. They're looking for another one. Cleared away by Gylfi for the moment. Ball on the right-hand side. Sebastian get a little bit on it, but not enough. Stolzy has this one moving forwards. Akrapovic trying to get the bump, and he causes disruption in the back lines. There's 23 seconds left for 3 goals, and I don't think that's enough time, if I'm going to be honest, Skilson, but there is life.
I mean, once again, if Gylfi are able to make this miracle of a comeback, it will really boost them within the week 6 standings once again. I think it's so essential that they're able to find this just to give them the boost they need to climb this leaderboard. That being said, 9 seconds, 8, 7. Nearly able to find something, but it's denied once again. The Jawlers, they really have run away with this game, and they brought it to a draw. The Order of Oaks, once again, getting such a controlling momentum on the pitch.
Yeah, and there you see it once again. This one, game 3 was very close. Game 4 did not seem as close. Mr. Green and Domino taking things forwards for Order of Oaks, but you have to have a look at the field domination. And once again, the graphic is the one that's right. UnitOX, Gelfi had 62% field domination. They were in Order of Oaks half quite a lot. They just weren't able to make much happen off the back of it, Skilton, and unfortunately that's where they came unstuck.
Yeah, I really got to praise Mr. Green for this final game of the series as well. I mean, his performance was so good. I feel like any time there was a goal from the side of Order of Oaks, it was Mr. Green just getting those counter plays. The amount of times that Gylfi were just desperate to try and catch up. Yeah, there we have it. Look at this, 13 shots, let alone 8 saves and 6 goals. I feel like most of those saves that he got led to a goal. That's what I think that is essentially what happened for this match. Because the amount of times he just got it, everyone ran out of boost, he just sent it down the pitch with a lovely bit of dribbling and just ran it straight into the opposition's goal. I think, you know, I got to praise him. He had the game on lock.
He did, and there you can see the post-series stats, pretty even for a few of them, but a couple I want to bring people's attention to, mainly the saves. Order of Oaks defense standing up 16-11, but on the flip side, it was the UnitOX offense that was really cooking in this series. 30 shots to the 24. They had a lot of aggressive plays, they had a lot of attacks, but in games 1 and 3, it worked for them, but unfortunately games 2 and 4, the Order of Oaks defense was just that little bit too strong, Skilton.
And yeah, I guess it's just a showing of quality, not quantity. It doesn't matter how many shots you take. If you just get the right ones, you're going to get the right goals. As we bring in the luscious greybeard here, what did you think of that game?
You know what? I kept looking at the standings and looking at the rival standings, and this was an important series for both, really. Probably more for Gelfi, given the positions of where everybody's standing. And if Gelfi they started so well, and their game 3 was so good, and but when Jawlers came back, they came back with emphasis. And what that means is that while Gelfi could have snuck their way into the top 6 if they'd organized themselves to win 3 of those games, but dead even and probably fair, but almost. I don't know how you feel, Rhino. If like Gelfi, do you feel they're fortunate to get away with the draw? Or did they deserve their 2 wins?
I think I've got 2 kind of thoughts in my head, and I think that probably tells you that the draw was about right. Yes. I thought their offense looked really good. I thought as they started moving forward, certainly as you said in game 1 and 3, those attacking plays, those passing plays as well, looked really crisp. I was really impressed with how they came into those games. I don't really know what happened in 2 and 4, but the attacks just weren't hitting. I don't know whether it was a few too far missed shots. I don't know whether it was just that they weren't getting the rub of the green that they were in games 1 and 3, but they looked way off it. Order of Oaks looks like miles the better team. So I think a draw is probably fair based on what we've seen in those particular games, but at the end of the day, it's tough to say really, because both teams showed good looks at different times.
And it's got to be a little frustrating though for Order of Oaks, Hilton, because they were, I mean, the games they won, they looked so in command of it, but then there was the inconsistency of the game before or after, where they didn't bring that in every game. And you feel if they did, they were taking the series in a sweep.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a double-edged sword for both teams, right? They were both victims of momentum. You know, when they had that off kick or that kickoff goal, they were able to sweep the game. There was no issue who was going to win. But, you know, in that game 3, it really showed why Okes were still big players in this series, because, you know, they didn't have momentum straight away, but they were able to establish control. And I think, you know, I think it's fair game that I think both teams really do have strong features to them. With Gelfi, it's their aggression. With Jawlers, it's their control. But both of those teams need to understand that numbers are just numbers and not get, again, victims of the tempo.
And I'm just having a quiet laugh to myself because a great place has slid into the chat, and his opening words were, Hi, Gnets. The typo on gents, it's making me laugh. So, hi, Gnets. All right, fine. So we have a draw. That's our rival series, and just looking at the table, it probably means. I mean, there's some critical games coming up. Not the least of which is Dynasty playing Critical Force in about 20 minutes time, and depending on that result, Bravo Force have the opportunity to extend their lead over Gelfi there, because Gelfi are now just 1 point behind Bravo Force. But if the Dynasty Jacks do what they should do, which is take it in a sweep, then there is definitely opportunity for Gelfi to sneak their way into that potential playoff position, or at position number 6 and up.
Well, I do want to hit on that point, Greybeard, because what you're saying is absolutely right. But you have a look at Jax; they are only 1 win above Bravo Force. So this game actually favors Gelfi, whichever way you slice it. The worst result for them is actually a tie. They do not want a draw, because then both sides will go 2 games above them. But I mean, yeah, if either Bravo Force or Jax are to win it, currently Gelfi sit 1 win behind Bravo Force and 2 wins behind Dynasty. So they're going to be watching that very, very intensely.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. It's a bit late in the season, and the position is too low to be getting draws. I mean, in the podcast we were looking at a few. There are a few teams that are doing quite well, but are yet to get a win. They're like drawing their way to the top of the table. But when you've had the rough start that Gelfi had, they don't want to be doing that. All right, gentlemen, we are going to be doing an interview. We're just so this is how the interview works. We grab a player from the winning team. When it's a draw, as it has been tonight, we pretty much flip a coin and pick one, and we're gonna get Tubbsy in. So he says, okay, give me a second here. We're just gonna get him. He says, one second.
While you're doing
all right,
that,
fine.
I just want to talk about some of the games that Gelfi have coming up to try and make that playoffs happen. Next week they're going to be playing against Bravo Force. So that game could be huge, depending on the result from Jackson Bravo Force. Gelfi Bravo Force next week is really one to watch, because those two teams could be going. They really could do with that victory. And they've still got Fort Templar Vanguards today, who it's fair to say haven't had the best season so far. Although Greybeard with their new roster, who knows? But Gelfi still have a shot with their schedule. That's all I'm saying.
All right, well, gentlemen, you guys will be taking our prospect series in a moment. But before we get there, we have got Tubbsy, who's slid into the chat here, and we're gonna do the interview. And there he is. Tubbsy, how are you?
Good in yourself.
So, Tubbsy, my first question is, I want you to explain yourself, because you're Tubbsy sometimes, you're Elvin in chat, and then you're Tabuzzy. What is going on with your name?
So Tubbsy obviously is my username. That's my general username. I got that from a long time ago. I'm not going to go into that. The story is very long. But Tabuzzy actually came from my RLCS team, coming from Genie, Domino, and them. So I actually versed my teammate today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, tense. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, here we go. How do you feel about the draw?
I would say we played well. I don't think we had our best performance, obviously not. But then again, we know our flaws and we know where we can improve. I think what we could have improved on fully is the aggression and trusting our teammates, because I think if we trusted our teammates more, then it would be more organized and everything will go more smoother than it went, actually.
Now, top 2 in the table are guaranteed a place in playoffs, and then places 3 to 6, 3, 4, 5, and 6 have to go through play-in. So 6 is the absolute lowest you can finish in the league in order to have a shot at being in playoffs. You guys are at 7. If you had won 3, you would have gone right up. You would have tied with Critical Force. As it stands now, you're still behind them. and you're playing Critical Force next week, so that becomes a really, really important game. How do you guys as a team prep? I mean, I know some teams struggle to get scrims because we've all got real lives and scheduling can be difficult. How's that for you guys? Are you able to sort of work together as a team and plan scrims and so on?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think when it comes to the admin side of our team, I think it's really good. We have a WhatsApp group, so everyone tells us when they're available. And we've scrimmed Bravo Fills many times, so I don't think it's going to be a big fear going into it. Not saying that they're not a competition, but I mean, we have scrimmed them, we know their capabilities, and I think us as a team and us having the coaches that we have and whoever can help us that we have, I think it's a really good advantage for us to use against them.
All right. Well, we're into the final stretch now. You are now done with week 6. You got week 7, 8, and 9. You got 3 more series left. Obviously, if you bang out 12 wins in those 3 series, you're going to be very well positioned. But are you confident that you find yourselves in the playoffs at the end of the season, at the end of league play?
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel very confident. Here's the thing. I transferred from DSQ, basically the top team. So I think I'm very confident in my team to have done that. And I know Acro and Stolze, I know the players that they are, and I feel very confident, not just by myself, but I think us as a team, we feel very confident.
Excellent. Well, I wish you the best of luck in your remaining 3 fixtures, and hopefully we get to talk again at the end of playoffs when you find yourselves a winner. But you got your work cut out for you, and good luck with it.
Thank you, Gravy. Same to you, man. Enjoy the stream.
Thanks, Tubbsy. Nicely done.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, there we have Tubbsy, and I'm really enjoying this interview process because I'm getting to see faces attached to names I've known for a long time. So good to at least get closer to meeting Tubbsy there. And now, Rhino Skilton, we look forward. We now go to the prospect tier. My franchise, Dynasty, the Jokers, and hopefully they win, because then I'll get to interview the Dogman. He has a little bit of myth and legend growing about him. But off the bat, Rhino, your immediate thoughts about the game?
I mean, this is a perfect opportunity for Fort Templar Crusaders to put an absolute cat amongst a million pigeons, right? It's going to be super exciting. Jokers, another team with 0 in that loss tally. It's going to be really interesting to see how they face up against Fort Templar. I want to see the Crusaders play well. That's one thing I really want, but honestly, anything could happen today.
Hopefully Fort Templar start making their long trek to doing better in the league, but I'll hand it over to you guys. So our prospect tier, the Crusaders, the Jokers, over to you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And I gotta say, the Jokers, they are nothing to joke about at all. In fact, their performance has been very scary so far in this prospect bracket. Standing at the very top of the leaderboard, the kings, you could say, of this realm. And the Crusaders, well, I mean, I just feel like these names are so fitting right now, Rhino, because they have a long journey to go in 9th place. Going 1-1-3 so far, not bad, but not great. And, going against the top dogs, how do you come back from a situation like this? How do you make that climb in week 6? Because it's just going to have to be a complete sweep from the Crusaders to be able to make this climb, to make this journey.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the benefit is we are in week 6, right? So we still got 4 weeks, including this one, for them to try and get some wins on the board. The problem is the team standing in their way on this week happens to be the top of the table with 0 series losses to their name. So, I mean, the Dynasty Jokers, you don't have to be a genius to figure out that they've had a fantastic season. The best offense in the league, 59 goals scored. Not the best defense in the league, but that's only by 1 goal. And here are the Jokers there, the Dogman, Clerks, High Frequency, and Muzz. And I do believe we are going to see Muzz on the field today, which will be very interesting indeed. But there you have it. 14 wins, 6 losses. I mean, Dynasty are running away with prospect tier right now, Skilton.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, come on, let's just look at this beautiful 70% win rate we're seeing here from the Dynasty. Again, these guys are, as the story unfolds, these guys are meant to be the top, the best, the creme de la creme of this prospect bracket. But I feel like we can see a disrupt from Crusaders because, you know, they have shown that they can make some really nice plays. They have won one game that is more than we could say from some of the other higher standing teams in this bracket. But with Joss, Misty Dragon, Escapade, and I'm not sure if Snipes is going to be playing on the pitch today, but they do have a good CMV standing. They do actually have a higher rated standing than some of the players on the side of Jokers.
I do agree. And I think it's all about the team cohesion, right? If you have high CMV players, but they don't work well together, they want to take up the same positions, they don't have good comms, you're not going to win as a team. So I think that's what Fort Templar Crusaders are going to have to focus on. Stay tight, make sure those comms are locked in, make sure that you don't make two huge mistakes that Jokers are going to be able to come through and take advantage of, and play from there and see what you can get done, because it's not been the best season for them right now. However, it can still end in a playoff run if they get the next few weeks right.
And I really am really curious about how the Jokers do play. Like, how is their dialogue on the pitch? Is it stand-up comedy? Do they have a script? Do they have something to work with? Because we are in the prospect stage. This is, you know, a stage where things can be quite chaotic, quite sporadic. Opportunities can just fly through the window and come back out again. So what is the Joker's strategy? What has been their winning formula so far? And is it something that the Crusaders might actually be able to counter with? Because, you know, that's the beauty of this bracket and something that I'm really curious to see in this series so far.
Questions that we will be getting the answer to very shortly, Skilton, as we jump into the game. It's Dynasty Jokers versus Fort Templar Crusaders in the prospect tier here in RSC SSA. There's a chance there early. Muzz going to pick this one up on the left. I said we'd see him. We are indeed. It's going to be Muzz, Dogman, and Eclipse on the Jokers, taking on Escapade, Joss, and Misty Dragon on the Fort Templar side. Going to be a chance to get this clear from Misty Dragon. Not going to be able to, but Joss will come through. Dogman drops this up. Oh, an unfortunate backflip. Will it be capitalized on? No, it will be dealt with by Escapade, but the Jokers are coming forwards already.
Absolutely, and that early goal potential from Jokers was looking very funny there. That being said, they weren't able to find it, and a minute is nearly taken off of the clock already. The time is flying. No goals yet. This is something that, you know, we didn't actually see from the rivals teams. We saw so much more momentum being pitched earlier on into the series. And right now, Eclipse might actually be able to do that. It's denied by from the side of Misty Dragon. And there we see the ball flying. It's soaring into the sky. Joss is able to follow with it, but runs out of boost, and it's going to be taken into the hands of the Jokers, who get the goal. Eclipse finds the horizon, and there it is, our first goal of the series, game one. And what a beautiful shot, getting demoed in the process.
Yeah, it's a wonderful shot. He just gets ahead of his man, and he's going to be able to get that goal without too many problems. It's now going to be Eclipse taking this one forwards. It's Yoss on the right-hand side, able to make that save. There's a chance now from Muzz moving in. It's Yoss once again to clear that one. Escapade goes down the right-hand side for Fort Templar, off the corner, looking for the shot. Eclipse will be there to save once again, and this Dynasty Jokers side, you can tell they are already locked into this game. They're playing incredibly well, and they're playing around each other as well. Those comms look like they are very crisp and clean, and Skilton, that's a scary prospect for Fort Templar.
Yeah, and look at this from Dogman, getting the rebound off the side of the board, but doesn't quite find anyone to follow up with. That could be in the second goal, 2 minutes into this game. Jokers are currently in the lead. Crusaders looking to follow. The ball is on the side of the Joker's pitch. Denied. But Yoss is not able to deny that, though. The Dogman scores the second goal of the game. And the Jokers right now, they're showing why they are the top of the leaderboard. The kings of the realm once again.
Yeah, I don't... Okay. You saw what happened on the replay. We don't need to go into that. 2-0 to the Jokers as we move forwards. It's going to be Yoss now looking for a teammate. Flicks forwards into the corner. Yoss will follow that one in, looking for the shot. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a miss. Escapade. Hello, Fort Templar. There is life in them yet as we start to tick down towards the halfway mark in the game. Escapade gets a goal back for Fort Templar. And maybe Dynasty Jokers just fell asleep for a moment there.
Absolutely. What a beautiful disruption there to the pace of Jokers. And yeah, Escapade, is he able to score a second one though? Or is someone else from the Crusaders going to be leading them to even the score line? As we see the ball starting to fly to the side of the Jokers, gets denied by Muzz. He's going to be pushing it into the corner. This looks really good, but the rebound is too much. That being said, we're able to see a counter-attack from the Crusaders. They're just barely missing that goal once again. This is heartbreaking to see if you're a Crusader fan right now. And Yoss gets the tap. Nice follow-up by Escapade, but it's denied straight down the middle by the Dogman. Going to be following it straight through into the side of the Crusaders' corner. Brought back once again. And the Crusaders, they need these games. They need everything they can get in this week 6 to bring themselves climbing up the leaderboard. That being said, that ball is going to go straight into the side of the Crusaders' goal. The Kings, the Jokers, they're laughing through this match as they find the third.
Yeah, Greybeard said in the pre-game that the Dogman was forming a kind of legend around him, that he was starting to gain quite the reputation in RSC SSA. Shots like that are exactly why. That flick is wonderful and will give Jokers their 2-goal lead back. It's going to be now a chance at the back for Yoss to clear this ball away. Picked up by Muzz, who maybe looks for a ground pinch there. Not much doing. Escapade sends it back towards teammates, and neither of them ready for it. Yoss gets past one. Will get a decent 50 on a second. Cleared away by Escapade for the moment, and it's cleared all the way by Fort Templar. But once again, Dynasty Jokers coming right back the other way as it's Dogman popping this one up into the middle. Yoss onto the sidewall. Big clearance from Dynasty. Will that one drop? It won't. Will there be a follow-in? Yes, there will. Eclipse makes it elementary for the rest for Dynasty Jokers. 4-1. And I would venture to say, Skilton, game 1 done.
Yeah, it's a complete royal rundown from the Dynasty right now. 3-goal lead, 1 minute left on the clock. The Crusaders, this is not an easy journey as they are currently soaring through the desert right now, but there's not a drop of water to try and make this play here. As once again, the Jokers are going to have possession, gets flung back by one of the Crusading team. Escapade looking to make a hero play, but he's got no boost. Pushing it back. They're not able to make the play they're looking for as 30 seconds are now hitting the clock once again. 3 goals in 10 seconds. I do not believe this is something the Crusaders can handle right now.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the case, but what they will be looking for is maybe something to take forwards as momentum into game number 2. But the ball being in their own half is not going to do that for them. But it will drop in the midfield. Oh my goodness, off the post. 1 second drops. The ball will surely follow, but hang on a moment. Ball kept up. Dynasty may be looking for one more. It will not come. And Jokers, well, we mentioned before the game that it was going to be an uphill climb for Fort Templar Crusaders. They have just increased the height of the climb by a considerable amount. And you see there, Dynasty Jokers, well, they might have just been joking around. So they made that look easy.
Absolutely. And I think one thing to note here is just how much Muzz is just enjoying from the sidelines right now. The Dogman has been unleashed from the kennel, and he's going rampant around the pitch as Eclipse is nicely following. Both of them getting 2 goals in this game, but I feel like Muzz was still a very solid player here. Just the absolute firepower from these 2 players on the side of Dynasty is just too much.
I think it is, yeah. Those 2 top CMVs from Jokers absolutely taking over the game, taking those shots. And when you're Fort Templar, you're really struggling to read exactly what they want to do. And that's exactly where they want you, right? That's exactly where Dynasty Jokers are trying to get the better of you. So a pretty much perfect game one. Of course, they conceded that goal and Fort Templar made it a little bit difficult getting back to 2-1. But after that point, it just seemed that Dynasty were going to run away with it. Skilton, what would you like to see Fort Templar try and change going into this game 2 to try and bring it to this Dynasty side?
Well, oddly enough, I felt like Fort Templar were really good when they went for solo plays. I feel like I'm seeing 1v1 warriors right now, because when they do try and play together, it kind of collapsed. There's no chemistry I'm seeing from the Crusaders right now. That being said, we're in game 2. The kickoff is now live, and the Crusaders, they have everything to play for here. Everything to dethrone the Kings from their first place position in this bracket. That being said, it's not going to be easy as the pressure is on from the Dogman. Pushing up, getting the ball into the corner for Muzz to follow up. He gets demoed though. It's going to be very unfortunate, and it's going to be a prime time for the Crusaders to launch their expedition into the side of the Jokers. That being said, nothing is found, and in fact the ball is very close to the goal. I'm getting a little scared for them. Crusaders, they find the tempo once again. Is anyone able to follow up? No, because the Dogman is there to counter, looking to run with the ball. But Yos able to provide the defense needed for the Crusaders.
Yeah, and it's now going to be Clerks up this right-hand side looking to get the shot. Oh my goodness! Top corner almost found from Clerks. What a goal that would have been. Gonna try another one. This one's off the base of the post. Cleared away by Crusaders. Dogman on that far side. Looking to take this forwards, but a lot of the Dynasty players have fallen back, gone to get boost, gone to reset, which will allow Fort Templar Crusaders to go back into their half, try and get that goal. Dogman beats one out in the air, won't beat a second as Yos comes through, fires one into the bottom corner, but Clerks is equal to it and gets around 2 as well. Dealt with by Yos once again, who really seems to be stepping up for Fort Templar when they do go forwards. It's a nice pass, it's missed, but it's not going to be found by Misty Dragon. And is that an opportunity that they are going to rue missing come the end of this game?
Yeah, unfortunately getting the wrong read to follow up, but is able to get a play from the ceiling. That was quite cool to look, but doesn't really result in much for the Crusaders. No, that could have been another goal for the Jokers. But it's going to be nicely countered by Misty Dragon, getting the clear, but is denied once again by Dogman. This man has been a menace so far this series, and no one's been able to step in his path as Misty Dragon is going to touch the ball onto the side of Jokers. Was going to follow up in Eclipse. I can see him getting ready to make a play here. Does find it. Gets the follow through. Is now getting into the center of the pitch here. And this could be Dogman's opportunity to score the first goal of the series. It's going to be Eclipse instead. He just does it all by himself. He's a one-man band. The jester of the team.
Wow.
Making an absolute laughingstock out of the Crusaders right now.
The way I see it, Clerks refuses to score any goal that is not in the top corner. Every single time he is looking to position that ball in either the top left or the top right of the goal. And every so often he finds it. There he did on one. He's looking for the flip reset now. This man is absolutely clowning as it's cleared away. Maybe there's a chance for Fort Templar on the counter. Misty Dragon not quite reading that one as it's over onto the right-hand side. Clerks gets past one, needs a second touch, finds it 2, no one's there at the near post to try and nod that one home as Dogman. Oh, that's not the touch he wanted. It's cleared away by Clerks for the moment. Now looking for a teammate, needs some help. Maybe he doesn't. Demo comes through, cleared away by the Dogman as it's now going to be a chance for Escapade. Clearing this one away, Muzz following in. Not a lot of boost to work with. Will get a bump, will get some boost as well. But Clerks coming in from the left-hand side. We know what he can do. Dogman trying to follow. It's not going to happen. Muzz onto the corner. Dogman tries again, but this time it's going to be Misty Dragon to clear. Hang on a moment. Escapade surely not. Oh! Fort Templar Crusaders back in the game with an absolute beauty from Escapade.
The journey to the Joker's goal has been a long and treacherous one, but they have finally found the opportunity to bring themselves back into the game. 1 minute 15 left on the clock, and now it's anyone's ball game right now, as currently we're seeing Clerks getting the push-up onto the side of Crusaders, but not for long. They're starting to feel the pressure. Is this a momentum play waiting to happen? We're seeing 1 minute remaining on the clock. And Escapade, he's been an absolute star right now, but misses the opportunity to swing in. And Misty Dragon instead is going to get the pickup on the ball, but no boost is really going to put them in a difficult situation. That being said, the ball is going in once again, thanks to Escapade. What an upset from this beautiful play. Just straight down the middle.
No boost on the Dogman. Couldn't make a save. He was the man in the best position, but it meant nothing. 42 seconds left on the clock. Fort Templar Crusaders are going to be absolutely feeling themselves right now. Clerks takes it forwards, got the Dogman on the left, takes a shot, not like this. Oh, Dynasty Jokers, just when you think they're showing cracks, just when you think they're showing weakness, they come back stronger than ever and they tie up the game. And they want to make sure that they are going to get a minimum of a tie in the series. One more goal required from either team in order to lock that in. 30 seconds in this game number 2. Fort Templar have the ball. Momentum, it's Yos! Oh, this is back and forth, left and right, back to front. As it's Escapade putting it up on the backboard. And it's Yos following in. 3-2, Fort Templar back in the lead.
I know they're called the Jokers, but this game is just too entertaining right now, Rhino, as Crusaders are once again back in the lead with 20 seconds left on the clock. Are we going to be seeing an absolute hat-trick of a play happening right now? Nearly, as it nearly went onto the side of Crusaders. That could have evened it up, but 10 seconds left on the clock. Do the Jokers even have an opportunity to make another play like that? Well, they're going to try, as the ball is launched into the air, into the Crusader corner. It's get left alive. The 0-second rule is at play right now. It's do or die for the Jokers. And right now, the last laugh is going to be for the Crusaders in game 2.
Wow. That is an upset. That is one you weren't expecting to see today. Dynasty Jokers made it look easy in game number 1. But game number 2 came around and Fort Templar Crusaders said, no. We are not going to let this be a walkover. We are not going to let this go unnoticed. And big shout out to Escapades. That is a series-making play that Escapade gave there. 494 points on the game in Prospect. That is insane. And he deserves the MVP for that game. He was everywhere.
Absolutely, and potentially the MVP of this series if the Crusaders are able to make such an upset in this bracket. I mean, once again, let's just rephrase. The Jokers are at the top of the leaderboard, going strong in the prospect category, and the Crusaders are in 9th. In fact, they had a really rough game last week, putting them in that 9th position. And if they're able to make an absolute astronomical play like this, with Escapade leading the charge, maybe they will make the miracle run here today.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to bring Fort Templar fans back down to earth because I completely understand. Have your fun. This is a brilliant result for Fort Templar. But these kinds of solo plays, hang on a moment, we're back in and we've actually missed the kickoff. Misty Dragon got the first goal of game number 3. What on earth has happened there? Kickoff goal 2 seconds in. Fort Templar Crusaders, they are going to keep the momentum from game number 2. They're looking to lock in a tie against top of the table. It's going to be more difficult now. Clerks goes right back down the other end and gets the goal. It's all tied up once again, and we've only had 9 seconds of play. But Skilton, this is insanity.
Yeah, I mean, I blinked and 2 goals just happened right in front of my eyes. So right now, we're not even 10 seconds into game 3. It is neck and neck, 1-1. And right now, that could be a nice shot off the backboard. No one was able to follow for the Crusaders. I mean, quite unfortunate there, as it was so close up to kickoff. And 30 seconds left on the clock, and still so much has happened. That being said, we're seeing the Dogman looking to try and find something. Staying towards the goal. Nice strong defense, but it's missed! Escapade! How have you got away with that? Slipping through the cracks of the Joker's fingers. That's just going to be so unfortunate. I don't know how you'd be able to keep your mental after that one.
I don't think they are. I think this is the time that Fort Templar need to really kind of put their foot on the throat of Crusaders. They know they've got them in a weakened state. They know they're starting to struggle. Clerk's going to try and get things back on track for Dynasty. Moving around the left-hand side, looking to try and get the pass to the back post, but will be dealt with. And I tell you what, this Dynasty roster, they have had such a fantastic season, but they are starting to show their weaknesses. A couple of things have gone wrong for them, and it doesn't look like to me that they've had the mental to get back into it. And that is a real concern moving into playoffs for Dynasty.
I mean, especially for the Dogman, this player has been absolutely amazing on the offense. That's 2 times in a row where he just fell short on the defense. That's really going to put a lot of nerves on you as a player, especially as the Crusaders are in the limelight right now, in the lead. The underdogs of this series, bringing the Jokers currently in a very difficult situation as the ball is going to be pushed onto the Joker's side once again. Tapped back. Nice bit of back and forth though. That was so close for another goal for the Crusaders. A nice little demo there is going to put one of the players of the Jokers out of play for a short second. Not enough to establish much tempo with it. That being said, the Dogman, I can see him lining up here. He's looking for another play, another goal to change the pace, change the flow of the pitch. That being said, nothing so far. Back and forth, tug of war for both teams, but that could have been another goal for the Crusaders. Lining up the stats right there. That could have been beautiful. Once again, denied by the Jokers. The defense is starting to strengthen, but they need the goals. They need 2 goals, 2 minutes 20 left on the clock. And yeah, this is just a back and forth war.
Something I've just noticed is that I know it's almost 3 minutes into this game, but there has been a substitution. Muzz has left the field. High Frequency is back in. So Joker's now operating at basically their top roster now without Muzz on the field. No disrespect to Muzz, that's just based on what the CMV says. They are still in a losing position. There is a chance for the Dogman. Won't be able to get that one to go. Can't read it out of the corner either, as Escapade won't be able to clear that one. It's clerked into the middle, and that's not dealt with by Fort Templar. Could cause problems. It's High Frequency. The substitute comes through bottom right-hand corner, and when Dynasty Jokers needed someone to step up, it was High Frequency to do so.
Yeah, lovely bit of love hearts there. A lot of love for this sub in this series, game 3. And right now, I am really surprised what you just said there, Rhino, because once again, this 3-stack, these 3 players from the Jokers should be the prime of the bracket. They should be on top right now. But in the 1 minute 20 left on the clock, and it's only 2-2, the Crusaders really have some fire in them today, and they're looking to make an upset on the pitch. That being said, the Dogman isn't able to find anything, but a nice attempt to say the least. Isn't able to be countered either by Misty Dragon, as it falls short to the hands of the Jokers. The pressure is on in this corner. Crusaders looking to try and find something. They're not in a huge amount of pressure, but the ball is launched in midsection of the pitch. The trajectory is slightly off, and Escapade is not going to be paying his dues for the goal. And Misty Dragon, we haven't seen crazy plays so far from this player. Very close goal once again from the Jokers. Another very close goal, but Escapade is holding the doors. Not a shot there either. Dogman getting a demo on Misty Dragon. We need to something come alive from Misty. a bit of fire breathing onto the pitch right now from them, because right now there's 20 seconds left and it needs to be that extra bit of difference. That being said, Kirks nearly scores the third goal for the Jokers. 10 seconds left on the clock. It's looking scary.
Yeah, it is. Clerks now comes through off the backboard, looking to make this one happen. Goes by. Dogman tries to keep it alive. But we will be going to Game 3 OT. Whichever team is able to score next in this game will guarantee themselves a draw in the table. This one goes across. It's early pressure from Dynasty. That is dealt with quickly. Dogman comes across. Doesn't have a lot of boost to work with, but has Clerks inside. Dealt with by Yoss for the moment. High frequency into the left-hand corner. Gets it off the backboard. Is there someone following in? Yes, there is. I think there was a save involved. Misty Dragon, yes. Able to scamper across the goal line. Make the save. And Fort Templar Crusaders somehow stay in game number 3.
Yeah, this is completely chaos on the pitch right now. We're now 45 seconds in overtime, and right now there's been so many opportunities for both sides. But who is going to come close to this goal? It's going to be the Jokers! As we see the final goal come from one of the star players of this lineup. Eclipse has done a beautiful play there to close out this game 3. I do need to rephrase that, actually. It is Clerks.
Yeah.
Bringing the Dynasty to that second victory of the series for them.
Yeah, and Jokers will not take an L on their record today. They haven't done across the entire season. Today will not be any different. And this one looks a lot more like the Jokers that we know. And it's going to be Clerks, 624 points. Escapade doing his best on the Fort Templar side to keep them in it. But at the end of the day, the power of the Jokers was just too strong. But it's pretty even on the shots as well. I do want to make that point. 9 shots on Jokers, 8 shots on Fort Templar. The opportunities are coming to both sides. It's just that on this occasion, Dynasty had the ice, and that was enough to win game 3.
I can't stress enough how many heartbreaking opportunities there was for the Crusaders. They came so close to their final destination, and yet every time it just hit the post. It's so heartbreaking, but I hope that doesn't destroy their mental in this 4th and final game of the series. Are they going to be able to at least tie it even against the kings of the bracket, the Jokers, the Dynasty? And you know what? I think they can. I think they are more than capable of taking this to a draw.
I totally agree. If they are able to get this draw, if they are able to stay in the game, then I tell you what, the rest of their season only gets easier from here. Their remaining 3 teams are, on paper, nowhere near the level of the Jokers. If they can bring this to a tie, then there is a serious chance that Fort Templar make a charge for playoffs late in this season. But it is going to take a win in this game, and Misty Dragon trying to get that kicked off right now. Cleared away for the moment, and you know for a fact that Dynasty Jokers do not want to lose grip of that top spot either. They're going to want to win this game just as much as Fort Templar are.
Absolutely, and I mean the Jokers, they've been able to establish some control so far onto the pitch, but look at these punches from Crusaders that they are not pulling right now, pushing it into the corner. Going to be taken by the Dogman, but he gets demoed. This is going to disrupt the pace once again. That being said, such a close play there from High Frequency, not quite finding the right altitude to get that ball in. That being said, it's just a back and forth still. Dogman's back on the pitch. He's been let loose from the kennel, the dog box even, and he's looking to go for a safe play here. He isn't actually... He's reserving himself quite well, especially in this prospect bracket. Dogman looking to step up now. Push up, doesn't find anything. This is so back and forth from both teams. Neither team wants to let loose an opening. And this is very controlling play from both sides.
Oh yeah, good clearance there from Misty Dragon right at the last moment. As now there's a chance for High Frequency, just doesn't get the angles right. So Yoss will be able to clear this one away. Back in from Jokers, but their radar is so far miscalibrated right now, not getting any shots on goal. Misty Dragon clears this one back downfield. There's a chance for Escapade. Won't beat the two Jokers that are up in the air, but it will be collected by Misty Dragon now, looking for this one. Dealt with by High Frequency, beats two. Ball in field. Dogman waits to the back post, but Yoss is there to clear the ball away. Back in from Clerks. Dealt with by Misty Dragon for the moment. But I have to say, Jokers are looking the better of the two sides right now. They have the more sustained pressure, Skilton. But Fort Templar, all they have to do is stay in this game, and there's a chance.
Yeah, once again, this is a long crusade ahead for Fort Templar. They're looking to hold the position, hold the doors, but right now the Dogman doesn't have enough boost to seal the deal, get the first goal of the game. And Escapade, all eyes are on him right now as he's witnessing the ball go back and forth once again, nearly scoring a goal for the side of the Jokers. And Yoss getting possession, doesn't have boost once again, so Misty Dragon is going to have to step up, and that was a bit of a double commit there from Escapade there as well. That could be really dangerous as the counter attack is now on. We see nice clearing there from the side of Jokers, but it's just, once again, this feels like such a close, such an intense tug of war from both teams, constantly trying to get counter attacks, constantly trying to get these opportunities, but denied once again. Yoss is going to tap it up. The goal of Crusaders is not open for invite, and the Jokers are currently not able to get a chuckle off right now.
Yeah, ball to the backboard. There's a follow-up. It's a fantastic save from Yoss. Keeping that one out, and 1.5 minutes. I mean, last game we had 2 minutes, 2 goals inside the first 10 seconds. This game, neither team wants to lose it. Neither team wants to give it away, and it's a great save from Yoss again. Double save on that one. Ball in the corner. Yoss clearing away once again. Fort Templar Crusaders, if they do anything in this game, it's going to be through a combination of Yoss and Escapade, you would think. No disrespect to Misty Dragon, just not really being at the same level as his teammates today. It's going to come around. High Frequency looks for this one. Cleared away by Fort Templar. There's a chance for the Dogman, but he goes by. Clerks into the corner. He'll be lifted up. Escapade trying to work with his teammates to clear this one away. And once again, it's unrelenting pressure from Dynasty Jokers. Eventually, it's cleared down the other end, but it's only like a big booming clearance. There's no real plan behind it, and that means Jokers can come right back and try and take another shot.
Yeah, currently the Crusaders feel a little lost on their journey right now, but they may have just found the opening. There's nothing found, and we have a clearing. Denied by Yoss. But everyone on the side of Jokers is piling up into this corner, isn't able to find anything as the ball goes high. Yoss gets it back on the side of the Jokers, but it goes right into their hands. 8 seconds left on the clock. We could be going into overtime right here. Both opportunities have been landed. Struck. Oh, the ball goes back out. Back in. This could be it. No, it's denied again by Dragon. That is the play you need to see in these later seconds of the game. And overtime, we are at the Jokers versus the Crusaders. Wow. This is such a valiant performance from both sides.
It really is. Jokers had the ice in game number 3. They need to find it again in game number 4. Fort Templar, have they learned from their mistakes? Do they know what to do this time? As it's going to be Yoss taking it forwards. Has boost, has an empty net to aim at. Ooh, but Clerks gets back in time and now starts the counter attack. Takes the shot past to Dogman! And it's gonna be Jokers again who are able to come through with the series victory. 3-1 on games. 1-0 in game number 4, but take nothing away from the fantastic performance that was Fort Templar Crusaders. They stuck with Dynasty right the way through to the bitter end.
Such a valiant effort on their journey, but once again, the Crusaders have lost themselves to royalty. The Jokers, they have absolutely shown an incredible performance, and they have brought themselves 3-1, winning the series against the Crusaders. I mean, they had such a good performance though. It's so heartbreaking to see this team that is meant to be 9th of the leaderboard had such a fierce competition against the Kings. I'm just, you know what, I'm surprised, and that was a beautiful game to spectate, I've got to say right now.
It was a fantastic game of Rocket League, right the way down to the wire. And I'm sure we can now show you those post-series stats, what happened throughout the entire series, because to be honest with you, I'm interested to see these statistics. I think they're going to be even right down the middle. And actually first, we are of course going to take a look at our series MVP. I'm not sure, it could have been Dogman, but it was an incredible performance from Clerks, and everything you need to know is in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, Dogman really was let out of their leash this series, but I do agree with this pick. Clerks was just so clinical with some of the plays they made. I mean, they were single-handedly able to score some goals in some crucial points. But, you know, I feel like all of the players of the Jokers were really tested them to their limit today. Because despite what the wins show, the Crusaders were truly a competitor to stand by. I'm surprised by these stats. They should not be ninth of the leaderboard by the performance we've seen here today. But all in all, the Kings come first. The Dynasty stands tall. And the Jokers are just going to be laughing at this game, as we're going to bring someone to be interviewed very shortly, I can imagine.
Yeah, but first, we got to talk to Greybeard. We got to talk to the host of the day. And I mean, we spoke before the game, Greybeard, about the fact that maybe this game isn't going to be fantastic. Jokers 1, Crusaders 9. It could be academic. But Crusaders came tonight to play.
Someone in chat said this is a lot closer than it should be. That was clearly a Dynasty fan, and I think that was right. But I mean, this is the great story of competitive play, isn't it? Is that you can be on top of your game, riding high. I mean, we see it in football all the time, and Rhino, we've spoken about this before, where your favorite team smacks, they beat Manchester United, they beat Manchester City, and then they play Brighton on Hove or something and lose 5-1. You're like, what the hell? That was supposed to be a gimme. So, but Skilton, it means that the Dynasty Jokers remain unbeaten in 6 weeks of league play.
Yeah, and I could see how giddy you're looking right there, Greybeard. Like you are so happy, I can tell. But I've got to ask you actually, were you not nervous at that game? Because that was so close. We saw 2 overtimes there in that series. I mean, what were you thinking? What were you feeling?
Do you know where I got nervous? Because after game 1, I was like, okay, the Jokers are going to steamroll this. Where I got nervous, game 2, it was the first for Templar goal, the first goal by the Crusaders, and I'm feeling terrible now because it was an amazing double tap, and I hope one of you can remember who it was, because it was so good and it deserves a shout out. Escapade. Oh, it was such a good goal, and I was like, where did this come from? And suddenly they looked really good, and I thought, ooh, now we've got a competition on our hands. And to be fair, it was wonderful. I mean, we had a game overtime in game 4 that could so easily have been a draw, and as happy as I am for the Jokers, I was very pleased for Templar. They did look very good there.
Yeah, as well they should. I mean, Jokers, not only have they been able to keep their top spot, but I mean, that goal scored as well. That game 1 definitely helps towards their attacking returns. Played incredibly well in that game 1. But yeah, game number 2 to game number 4, it was very back and forth, very even. I want to also kind of field the question, I guess we'll go to Greybeard first, about the Fort Templar Crusaders, because as I mentioned, the rest of their season compared to this game looks relatively easy. They have position 6, position 7, and position 10 left to play. If they bring that game today, maybe, just maybe, there's a playoff push on the horizon.
Yeah, but you know what? Relatively easy is always dangerous. I mean given how we opened this conversation, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I should clarify.
Yeah, but they are. Look, it's so. I see the Cubs, who are second in this conference, played Accelerate. It was scheduled for last night. I don't see a result because the Jokers and the Cubs separated by a single point. And Jokers will go up to 17 points after tonight's win. And so I don't know that result depending. So Jokers might have opened up some good daylight between them. Or if it was a sweep by Accelerate, we could have a tie for the top of this conference right now. Which, we just have to we just have to. Oh my word! Sorry, I got distracted by production there. But I mean, we're into the last 4 weeks there, and what the hell was I saying, Rhino?
We were talking about the fact that it could be that the Cubs are now top because Jokers were only won 3-1, and if the Cubs were able to win 4-0 yesterday, then they would have gone top. However, that did not happen. I've got confirmation from chat that it was Cubs winning 3-1 in that game, so Jokers stay on top.
Well, there you go. Well done, Jokers. And we are going to be speaking to the Dogman. And my only disappointment with the Jokers win is I was quite looking forward to, because we would have interviewed Misty Dragon. Misty Dragon, someone we're yet to see on camera, on stream. But Misty Dragon, if you're in chat, there will be more opportunities and we will get to interview you. But in the meantime, we will have a chat with the Dogman. Yo, Dogman, you're back.
Yo.
How you doing?
Good, and you, dude?
So I'm fabulous, and I'm thrilled with your win. But my goodness, you made it tight this week.
We played Shadow in a warm-up scrim, and we absolutely ran over them. But I don't know, the roster rebuild for Templar was big for them. It was very big for them. Joss and Escapade is a great team.
And Escapade. I was talking earlier about that double tap from Escapade, which I was like, wow, this is a roster that's looking well. But Dogman, I also want to ask you about Muzz. I was thrilled to see Muzz out there doing the business. We haven't seen a lot of him, so at least he got a run of a couple of games tonight.
Yeah, he hasn't really. All the stream games we played were quite close, except that one UnitOx one, but he wasn't here. Here, so we played against Redirect, I think.
Okay.
It was Redirect or Critical Force, and he played, and he's so good. He's still newish to the whole thing, and you can see he's still nervous to go up for the ball.
Let me tell you what the issue with Muzz is. Muzz is an old man, and and I know what it's like when you're an old man and you're out there and you've learned to be cautious in life. But well done, Muzz. Good to see you. So the big question now, Dogman, is can you close out the season undefeated? Because every week you play undefeated, it gets a little harder.
Yeah, it is. Next week's Potato and then Trollers, and I think it's done.
Well, you got three more series. You got week 7, week 8, and week 9.
Oh, and we're playing Shadow still last week, so it's Potato, then Shadow, I think, or Shadow or Trollers, and then the last one is also Shadow or Trollers. I'm not quite sure.
All right, and so how do you feel about that? Do you think you can overcome them?
Yeah, I think we should. Rotator, I think we should. Shadow is going to be a close game because they are a good team. Maybe they didn't have a good night in the scrim.
Yeah.
But we'll see. And then one team I'm scared that I see is doing well after their roster rebuild is XP Cubs.
Well, the truth of the matter is that Prospect and Master in Dynasty are pretty much flying the flag. So we're counting on you guys to see out an excellent season for Dynasty. Rabbit and Sean will do their best in Elite. We'll do our best in Rival. But another stellar performance. You made it close, but you ended victorious, and massive congratulations.
Yeah, I'm just happy the team, they've been there, the coaching sessions, we've probably had 6 hours plus coaching, 6 hours of coaching with Zar. He's been helping us a lot and gaining confidence in each other, and trusting each other is a big thing for Prospect.
That's amazing. Well done, and the work is certainly paying off. So well done for putting in the work.
Okay.
All right, Dogman. Well, good luck for the last 3 weeks.
We'll try. Stay undefeated.
No
It was
doubt you
close.
will.
It was close tonight.
Very close. Okay, Dogman. Cheers.
Cheers.
And there we go. We are halfway through the night. We've had 2 series. We have 2 more series before we wrap up. We had Rival and we had Prospect, and now we move to Master, Alpha Force from Critical Force, and Nguni, the easiest of the UnitOx names to pronounce, will be playing next, and then that will be followed, our last series of the night, another Rival clash, Prolific and Nightfall from Bro and Shadow. And that's where we're going to be, and bringing and don't forget our sponsors. Sponsors are Nixa, giving us the cash, 18 grand for the prize pool at the end of the season, and of course our broadcast sponsor, making sure we can bring you these high class matches, Genisus Extreme. And we say goodbye to our first round of casters, Rhino and Skilton, and we bring in Ultrazim and Zektek. Gentlemen, Ultrazim, we've not seen you for a couple of weeks, but you're back in the booth.
Just the 1 week. I've been here for most of it, and I'm excited.
Feels like a lifetime, Ultrazim. Feels like a lifetime.
Thanks, Greybeard. But it's good to be back. And I mean, every time you mention something like the prize pool, 18,000 rand, I look at the Dogman, one of the youngest people that we've seen on camera, and every week RSC makes me so excited that Esports has grown like this. Yeah.
It's a banger. The biggest community league in the region continues, and Zektek, we've dragged you in from North America. Great to have you back.
Always a pleasure. And for a Master Series, super excited. I think I've only covered maybe one of these so far this season, so I am very hyped to get down to biz with that one.
Yeah, it has been. We struggled to get the Masters on here, but we're going to have them on, and you will have the pleasure of doing. Who are we doing now? Remind me of the match we got coming
Critical
up.
Force Alpha.
Critical Force Alpha against
Nguni.
That's right, Nguni. And there you go. All right, well, gentlemen, Ultrazim, Zektek, bring it to us.
Well, Zeg, this is going to be an interesting one. Tale of 2 stories, some success here for Alpha Force, going 2 and 3, not losing a game so far, whereas on the other side, Nguni's yet to win a game, currently 0-4-1. And I mean, when you look at the rosters, there is kind of a story. I know you're new to the SSA scene, but I mean, when we look at Alpha Force especially, there is a lineup that has not just a lot of RSC experience, but even the RLCS experience on a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be something huge going to a lot of these series, is just that experience going the distance, playing against high-level competitors, and really being pushed to your limits. So I think it's just a huge advantage here for Alpha Force, and the reason they are currently number 2 in the standings, could be pushing number 1 after this series. And of course, Nguni there, right in the middle of the pack, trying to get a dub and really push forward, trying to get on top of those players and maybe make it to the playoffs. This could be their opportunity to really push if they can really just absolutely dominate tonight.
Yeah, and you know what? When I look at this Nguni side, one of the things that stands out to me is I was chatting to Greybeard now at the beginning, like my whole intro was how things have grown, and seeing people like Dogman who are young. A lot of the Nguni side are very young players. I mean, I remember, I think it was 2 years ago or so, I saw people like Technic Eagle winning the schools leagues. We have a hell of a lot of young, high potential players, and that's where they've come in right now. Unfortunately, they just haven't synergized. They haven't really refined and found their own flavor, and they still got those little kinks to work out. On the other side, Alpha Force, I mean, Friction being the captain is a stalwart of the scene by now, and he really does lead with a lot of certainty. Bigfoot has been making a name, and I mean, even Lackstar, Scrappy is not someone we get to see a lot of, so very excited to see what Scrappy can do. And then having someone like Lackstar on your bench even adds so much depth to this roster. It doesn't actually surprise me to see Alpha Force doing as well as they are.
I mean, great players come together, and I mean, like you said, that team play style and being able to play as a unit with a cohesive plan going into each and every match is just huge for a team, knowing where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to help your teammates, and how they're going to help you. It's just a huge step forward. And of course, we have Nguni, like you said, still figuring that out, trying to come together as a team. We got Nitro, Blade, and Technic Eagle, some fantastic names. Seems like a very speedy sounding team here. And I mean, just some high rankings here, but like, man, I think once they really get that team, like you said, team flavor, their own unique brand of play style, they're going to absolutely just shoot up in those rankings, and it's going to be something to watch and look out for, because I think once that happens, man, it's going to be an absolute blast to watch this team play.
You mentioned the high rankings. I mean, if you look at these guys, the CMV for every one of the players here on Nguni is higher than anyone on their opponent's side, which is actually insane when you think about it. And yet it really does come down to that flavor. And that's the uniqueness of RSC that I love so much, is the idea that individual players is not where it means. And when you start to get to week 6, you gotta be thinking that these guys have got to pull it together. And tonight might be that night for them. So we are going to be going into this, of course, 4 games right now. And Nguni being deadlocked for 4 out of their 5 series so far. Really looking for it. So, Zek, do you think this is the underdog story? Are they ready to take this right now?
I mean, if it's going to happen, it's got to happen now for this point in the season. It is do or die. You got to lock it in. And, I mean, already their Blade, great dodge on that demo attempt. Shot off the crossbar, and they will start off the scoring in game number 1. Look at that.
Well, there's your individual play. Just slows it down as Laxstar, the sub, comes in and doesn't manage to get up to the first one, doesn't manage to get to the second, and a great bit of individual mechanics, something that I'm sure we're going to be echoing a couple of times throughout the series, is Nguni managed to take a good solid lead for themselves. Alpha Force now looking to rally and off the aggressive. A good pass down from Bigfoot. Just gets shut out by Nguni straight away. And Technic with a bit of a power off that flick does at least manage to get Nitro in tow. He's given a hard touch in the beginning. A good counter attack coming out from Alpha Force.
Some good patience here and communication to hand off this ball to teammates. And Nguni actually looking really strong here coming out. I mean, they got that first goal. They have some good opportunities here. But now it looks like Alpha Force has figured out what they're doing here. They've really shut down that midfield and their ability to push past that back line. So now taking some shots, and Nguni showing us their defense now. Some passing plays perhaps. It's up, it's over. It's a double tap. Nitro puts it home.
Ooh, Nguni, you could not have started this better. A really nice setup. Blade gets the pass across there. And Nitro with both speed and precision. That upper 90 double tap read is great there to be able to give Nguni at least the confidence boost and the momentum that they would have wanted to start this. And they're not wasting any time. Technic now off the roof does win out the 50, but doesn't have any sort of impetus on it to manage to make it onto the goal line. Still, Nguni hanging around, waiting for their next opportunity to strike.
Man, really showing off that mechanical capability here. And Nguni, I mean, I thought that pass for that goal was just too strong, but somehow they pull it around into a double tap. Beautifully done. But right now, they got to lock down this back line. A bump will open things up for Nitro to keep moving downfield. Up and over to the backboard, perhaps, with a controlling touch here from Bigfoot. Well done. It goes up high to Friction. It's going to take a soft touch here, but it dangerously is getting pushed by Blade. And Nguni, they've tasted blood in the water, and they are pushing here to try and lock down game number 1. A possible shot attempt here, but Nitro will happily swat that one away.
Yeah, I mean, the idea was there, the execution just not, and sadly enough for Alpha Force, that's really been one of the best attempts that we've seen at the other side of the goal. They've been so restricted. Now they're going to go again. Laxstar tries for the finish off there, off the great carry from Bigfoot. Friction wants to keep the tussle in their opponent's side. Going to actually have another tap onto the backboard, but Blade reads it well. Bigfoot once more lifts it up. Laxstar tries to read it, but pushes it wide of the goals. The wrong side can't get to it. And Nguni hold their nerve and hold themselves. In fact, they're going to return their offense.
An awkward backline, low boost for all players involved, and it's just a smashing goal here for Technic, who will happily take that one over the backline defense. And man, 3-0 coming out strong here, but still half the game left to go. Plenty of time for Alpha Force to come together and figure out this team. And of course, you can always drop that first game, you know, let it be bygones. And once you figure out the other team, lock down the rest of the series. But right now, Nguni looking strong on both offense and defense.
Offense and defense, and I think that's a big part. Unfortunately, they're going to let it go right now. Friction snipes out the loose ball as the clear just didn't come through here. Really touting the capabilities of the defense, and Nitro has to get up for an optimistic save. Doesn't get any sort of distance or width on that, and leaves it open. No one from Nguni able to rally, so Alpha Force at least take one step back into the ring now. And they save themselves. And what was nice about that and what Nguni's been doing so far, wait, the pass is there, the pass is good! Blade gonna pick it up and immediately pick up that 3-goal lead once more.
Oh, the wave dash to get around that ball, the flick center for the pass, beautifully done, excellent communication. And Nguni still on their scoring spree. That one by Alpha Force is not slowing them down.
No, at all. And I mean, what I was trying to say there is that Nguni has been doing a great job at forcing Alpha Force into committing a lot if they want to try and do anything offensive. And Alpha Force, that's where they got punished on goal number 3, was they just had to stick around for too long. They didn't have the boost to get back. They lost their positioning. And Nguni, once more, they make everyone on the blue side commit forwards. Then they manage to control it. Technic takes it forward. Nitro going to be the one to keep possession. Yeah, he gets an interesting touch of his back bumper and makes it difficult for Lackstar, but Lackstar recovers it well enough at least to cross the halfway mark, and Technic regains that possession, and now link up in the center. Double commit, but Technic going to be third man, optimistically jumping in, doesn't get that extra connection. And Nguni lose their structure. They need to regather before Alpha Force comes forward, and forward they come back so quickly. Nitro makes the save.
Beautifully done. Got there just in time, and then Nguni remain 3 ahead here. Off the sidewall, looking for that read. The follow-up shot is just wide. And that's what you got to lock in here for the rest of the series. Just putting those shots on target. The air dribble is going to be coming in with some speed, but the defense able to take it out and away here. Check out in the midfield. Alpha Force is looking good to really take away these clearing opportunities. And there's the pass for Bigfoot to put one in.
Oh, there has been such a presence felt here. Alpha Force in and around. Friction takes out the demo on the back line. Even gets his body in the way of the last defender. It clears the space. Everyone from Alpha Force having to commit to it. But when you're 3 goals down in the last minute, that's the sort of proactive play that we like to see. And Alpha Force keep themselves with a hope here, as Nguni now down to only 2 goals. Nguni want to retaliate as they have done so well in the past.
A little missed on the defense, but a little 1-2 there. We'll keep it going through the midfield. But man, Nguni just surrounding, circling, sharks in the water, hunting for more and more to take another bite out of this Alpha Force team to go downfield. But looks like they're trying to fight back here. Alpha Force trying to put this one on target, try to get a goal just to go before the timer runs out here. But Nguni gonna clear it away. Not let that happen. At the last 10 seconds here. It's a big clear down the midfield. An extra touch to the backboard. Perhaps the shot is just off the crossbar, and we will reach 0 seconds. That one goes over to Nguni.
UnitOx going to be happy to add a couple of points there. Again, they're at least one game away from now matching the rest of their record, but that was a pretty convincing game. I mean, lots of shots coming in from both sides. A huge number, actually, surprisingly, forced out from Nguni, and it felt like in the last 2 minutes, even last minute and a half there. Alpha Force they stepped up. They started putting in some massive power plays and some really good passing opportunities for themselves, but the damage was already done by the time they got to that point.
Yeah, that back half of the game, I was technically even on scoring shots. 2 came in the first half for Nguni, and then the back half of that game was all tied up, all even, but it just wasn't enough for Alpha Force. They had to really step it up, but it is a good sign going into game number 2 that they're able to match toe for toe what Nguni is doing. So Alpha Force, I think game 2, absolutely possible for them to take it back.
And what was the biggest thing for Nguni for me was Alpha Force, we talked about it in the beginning. We thought Alpha Force was going to be the more cohesive team, and Nguni was going to be the individual mechanics coming out there. And they kind of seem to switch up that whole storyline of ours against us, because the passing plays from Nguni in the beginning were phenomenal, whether it's on the backboard or out of the corner, from the walls. There was always someone proactively going into that, and even their third man showed the confidence to be able to come in. Not the overconfidence, but I mean, it was a great start. It was nice to see Alpha Force also picking that up towards the end of the match. So, Alpha Force, they showed that their opponents can bleed. Now, can they take the battle to the cattle?
Already on the offenses, and Nguni, as they put pressure on here. Low boost, but they try to work their way around. Full boost here, though, for Alpha Force as they try to work their way out. Shut down with some of these 50s, though. Technic is putting in the work here, but it clears down towards Nguni's half. The shot's coming in to commit. It goes up high, so they got to get this blocked away. Cleared out off to the sidewall. Lackstar, I'm going to pitch this off the sidewall. Maybe a follow-up touch, perhaps. No, just going to fake it out. Try to go for the bump, but not enough boost to reach the player. Nitro now through the midfield. Another passing play, but it's just off there. And they try to put it up again. He's going to keep following this. Another flick towards center, but it's just off. And so Lackstar's got to fight with Blade. Bigfoot comes in to clear it to the side.
Nitro and Blade have been working so well together. Nitro just has this playmaking ability, whether it's off the sidewalls, he's getting good power on his passes, these nice little dribbles coming in there, and constantly looking for someone in the center. Technic, not afraid to come out of that third man role that we talked about earlier, as he's shown proficiency in his shooting attempts, and now going to be able to take towards the sky. He's going to have to read this on a difficult drop down, and even though there's two Alpha Force players jumping, they're jumping from the wrong side. They just weren't in the position to make an average challenge of it, and I mean, they were all stuck in the corner there. The desperation is palpable as they try to retreat, and yet it's Nguni finding first blood once more.
Yeah, just that lasting pressure was just fantastic from Nguni, remaining in control, taking great 50s, and just absolutely locking it in there on the offense. But now, defensively, they got to put it up some players to go, and Bigfoot will slot it over the back line, and they will tie it up. Alpha Force here to play.
Oh, Technic goes for the squishy save, just gets up a little bit too early, has to kill his momentum, and he drops harmlessly down to the ground. It looks fantastic when you pull it off, but there, Alpha Force controlling the tempo well enough to be able to get their own back. Now they're going to have to do some more work, but certainly a faster reply than we've seen in any of the previous game before now. Let's see if they can get the danger away from their nets. Lackstar and Friction working well together. Soft touch to drop it down from Lackstar, and Friction up into the air once more to Lackstar. Finally, Bigfoot gonna get involved, and the one touch so close to being all he needed, but the save was there. Nitro immediately lives up to his name and takes off with speed down to the other side.
Taking here the air dribble, takes it over two, dunks the last man, and will take the lead for this game. A beautiful play as Friction loses control. Technic over one, over two, and actually slams on top of Lackstar's head. That's a great way to take the lead back.
That is incredible, actually. The pace on that counterattack is what Nguni's really leveraging to their advantage. And, I mean, when you've got the mechanical skills, those CMV points are well-deserved here for Nguni, because it really does feel like every one of the players has got a vast array of plays that they can make from anywhere on the field that you can count on to make that last little step count. As they get pushed back now, Alpha Force looking to turn it around again, want to answer as quickly as possible.
Alpha Force attempting to make these counterattack plays, but no, it's a huge dunk, and Blade will just feed it in himself, taking it off the hood. All these 50s going in Nguni's favor. They are just bigger body. They've been working out, and they're happy to smash that one home. 2-goal lead at the halfway mark in this game.
Can we get a mod check on the hitboxes of these Nguni players right now? Because you're right, these are massive. There's absolutely no space, no quarter given right now. And Alpha Force, if that first touch is not 100% perfect, it just seems like Nguni's going to be there making life uncomfortable. I mean, even there in the corner, it's his Bigfoot being taken advantage of. Once more, Blade now finds the challenge there. Friction trying to run the interference, but the counterattack is on.
Oh, just missile-wise, that bounces out off the corner. Blackstar has some space here, but he's got one behind to contend with and one in front. little teamwork with Bigfoot. Not going to go too far, but the follow-up is right there off the backboard, but Blade able to read it off to the side. Big clear. Pass across, but it's intercepted. Downfield it goes. And Friction all by themselves. Have to controls out of the corner. Over 1. Pass 2, but a third will come in to shut that down. And then Alpha Force just can't seem to get out of their half with a bunch of control. They shut down the midfield. Just ego challenged left and right. And Goonie are just playing bigger, faster, and stronger.
Yeah, every one of those analogies, those adjectives, that's correct, Tony. Even that, I mean, that 50 should not go the way of Nguni, and yet it does, and immediately back into it. There's absolutely no hesitation, and bringing multiple people. I mean, normally we're criticizing double commits, but they're working well together. They're not both recklessly diving at the ball. It seems to be we're going to press it together and cover all the angles, and even the third man coming in sometimes to make these challenges, and yet they pick it up again. Nitro making a cheeky little jump play. Technic somehow, for some reason, is waiting there on the side to bring it back, and once more Alpha Force taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back.
Breakaway possibility here off the sidewall. It's a huge dunk center, but no one's there to finish it off, so it gets cleared way downfield. Bigfoot and Friction have to clear this one out of the back line together. But Technic, the fake out over 1, the flick over 2. The teammate fell up off the corner. Not going to happen quite yet. Again, off the corner. The shot coming in, but it's blocked away by Friction. With the immediate follow-up from Nguni, it's just what is keeping this ball from exiting the blue half of the field. It is one after another. The endless rushing river pushing them forward. But here is the breakaway from Friction. Can they get a shot on target? Alpha Force just trying to get anything on the offense, but it's immediately shut down.
Oh, I love that analogy of the rushing river, because that's what it's been. It's you can stem a river for a little bit, but over time it's just gonna keep flowing over you. It's incessant like this, and right now the rains have come down in Africa as Nguni take a second game in a comfortable margin, as was the storm has just landed here, and suddenly our second place team on the log. We were saying they have the opportunity to take first place. Well, now they're denied even the possibility of a win.
And Nguni just showing up here. 2 games now. They have a 2-goal win. And that is just absolutely fantastic here. And coming out from the middle of the pack, facing the number 2 seed right now. And absolutely just seeming to dominate, taking what we thought was going to be the team that would have, the play style, the teamwork, and just showing them up, doing it all better mechanically and communication wise. The rotations are just there. The offense is just relentless, and Alpha Force is seeming like they're being showed as if they're the last seed for some reason.
And it's weird because relentless is a great term, right? There is always a red player in the face, always competing for a ball. There is no such thing as a 50 because it's 50 at best. At worst, they're getting to the ball faster than you, whether it's on the air or on the wall or a little dribble attempt. And you can see the pressure it's putting on Critical Force. I don't know what Alpha Force needs to do, but their first touches are 98%. Is still not good enough for them. They're letting it go to just 2 or 3 centimeters further than it needs to be, and there's going to be someone challenging you right now. So Alpha Force somehow needs to wrench this game back into their own control, pick up the tempo a little bit, maybe start baiting out the Nguni players with some creativity. But right now the answer absolutely vacant, as once more it's Nguni taking control of the midfield, and the jumps are up there. Lackstar has work to do as he's going to be challenged. Takes it up nice and long, going to be spreading pressure. And Nitro, as good as he's been on the passing and on the front foot, always seems to be there on the back foot as well.
They're going to take it away there. Alpha Force have been struggling to get good 50s and even to get it past these players, as it just seems like Nguni is up faster and stronger every time. But now maybe they can shut it down. A fake will come through. 2 go up though to block that one away. Now counterattack opportunity will go to the wayside as that miss goes over. Got to pop this one up and over the midfield defense, but they're just waiting. Nguni happy to eat that force up, eat that attack, but it is still going actually as a push forward from Alpha Force here off to the centers. There a follow-up. No, the control for Technic is just absolutely destructive against the midfield pressure.
And it's that combination. The control is there from Technic, and then as soon as he needs to take the 50, there's the pace coming in with a quick shot attempt. doesn't come out to the better of Nguni this time. Again, Technic decides, you know what, I'm going to control it, make sure that I've got Nitro in tow with me. Now Nitro gets the opportunity, going to go for that control in the beginning, gets a couple of extra touch, actually sets Bigfoot off too far out of his line. And the challenge, the speed, that 1-2 punch that Nguni has right now proves to be the better of Alpha Force once more. And it's going to be Nitro the one to pick up the goal at the end of it.
Fantastically done by Nguni. Great mechanics. The communication to catch that player off guard by setting someone low after the player comes high. It has just been absolutely great connections here out of Nguni. But now, pass over here off to the side. They're trying to maintain possession, Alpha Force. They put us in there for a pass, but Nitro was already up to intercept. And they are just shutting them down here. But now it's maybe some control out of this corner. A little awkward, so an opportunity here for Alpha Force if they can control this, get it past that defensive line, but they just don't have the boost, the resources to really maintain a lot of pressure here or speed. And so is now trying to get cleared away out of the corner here. Technic on low boost. A shot will come in, but blocked away through the midfield. Another touch here, past another player, and they just can't seem to be stopped once they get the momentum going.
Yeah, I mean, kudos here goes to Alpha Force. They've actually controlled this pretty well. Oh, just a bit too hard. That's the strong touches, shall we call them, that's been coming out from Alpha Force compared to the control of Nguni. But, I mean, that was a good period of play. They are tenacious into it. Like you say, they don't have the resources, the boost to be able to keep going. This could be a nice pass down there. Lackstar reads that the communication was there, and the handoff executed perfectly. The bait out right now from Friction. Just chips it up in the beginning. Looks like he's going to pull some shenanigans like a musty. But he goes, actually, I don't need to pull out the big mechanics. I've got teammates.
One of the biggest advantages of some of these teams that have great communication is that it doesn't matter how mechanical you are, how good your defense is, if the communication is there, you will get caught off guard every time by these passing plays to players you can't see that aren't on your radar. And if you don't know where they are, you can't defend them. And that is the greatest opportunity of these passing plays here. 1, 2, 3, all players pushing forward, but Alpha Force cannot maintain that possession. A miss on the boost there in the corner, a pressure here. Technic tries to get to a teammate. Opportunity for Alpha Force to break away, but no, two go for it. The communication breaks down, but they still push forward. They had the opportunity. Up and over, no, blocked away. Nitro now to push forward. Is anyone going to challenge him? Friction able to stop it there. Lackstar follow up with the boost to the backboard, but Technic able to clear that one away through the midfield. Follow up to the backboard. And we're going to feed it down. Perhaps the shot not going to come through as it's blocked over.
Nice body check comes out from Bigfoot to earn some space there for Friction. Carries on this attack a little bit more. Early flick comes out, and it just doesn't have the height. Next follow-up is there, but Bigfoot and Lackstar, they've been the ones tussling on their own side a couple of times, and just the synergy has not come through to their fruition. Gonna have one more attempt now. It was an attempt to go very high. Bigfoot gonna have to cut this off. Tries to push it back towards the center, but Nguni has the numbers and the follow-through, and they just are denying the goal because of that crossbar on the top there. So both teams putting in their attempts. Neither one are breaking the deadlock as we head to the final minute. This breakaway right now. Blade manages to cut it off at the end. Pun intended.
Alpha Force picking up speed here in the last minute of the game. They seem to be getting faster and faster, getting more confident to challenge Nguni on these possessions and plays in the midfield and in the air. Some good fake outs on the 50s. They know that Nguni feel like they can win them when it's head to head. So instead, they just let them take it. And oh my goodness, the shots off the crossbar. Again and again, you're gonna want that one back. It's a double touch opportunity, but blocked away by Lackstar.
Oh, that should have been it. That should have been Alpha Force coming back into the series. There was a miss on the back line and an open shot. It just sends it high to go down. 1 second left. Alpha Force just want to keep it alive, force it into the overtime, and Nguni want to have one more look at the goal line. It's denied out. Blade somehow rolls it up and out of the corner. Got a bit of a flick towards the center. It keeps it up going. It's going to drop down. Nitro was there, but an early challenge from Lackstar. Going to settle this down. Overtime, our first one here in our third series of the night. And Nguni, they can get their first victory right here and now of the entire 6-week stint. Otherwise, Alpha Force looking to take their first loss if that goes that way.
Some pressure here from Anguni. But now Bigfoot able to win a 50. No boost for follow-ups, though. 2 missed, though. Opportunity for Alpha Force to break out here. Lackstar on no boost. It's just going to be a nuisance right now. Little back pass here. It does go up. But again, now it's Bigfoot here to the backboard. Can't follow it up, though. Not on target, so a breakaway play for Blade. Tries to throw it up, but Lackstar, massive challenge here. A little fake-out play. Friction. Gonna take that one forward, but now Nitro trying to shut this down to the midfield. It's a 1-2 passing play. Back to the ceiling. Not able to get it towards the center of the field, though. So just back to their own half to try to regain. As Anguni's looking to break out. The offense of their own here. Off to the side, though. Passing play might get to someone, but no. Technic has time and space.
Friction comes through with decent power on that shot, but it's straight into the waiting arms of the Anguni players. The double fake comes out there. Bigfoot, the one who has to gain some sort of momentum down the length of the field, actually has a good pass attempt. Lackstar saw it with big eyes. Actually going to try to help out Friction on the return, but neither of them manages to come away with it. Nitro now going to shove back Bigfoot against the back wall. That does at least manage to get it out and gain a bit of a breakaway with the boost to boot. Lackstar going to take it to the backboard, easily cleared out there with wide as well. Bigfoot, soft, big first touch, but a little bit too big for him to reach it afterwards. And Anguni, with the patience and the nerves of steel, hold it on their own baseline with a single goal, all that hangs in the balance.
A lot of good pressure, bumps and fakes out of Alpha Force here. Trying to get past that last man, but the shots just can't seem to break that last line of defense here. Down the other half of the field, opportunity now for Anguni, but now is blocked away off to the side. Bigfoot up here, looking for a touch off the corner to center for a teammate, but Technic, great opportunity. A shot, no one's home! Friction takes it for Alpha Force.
Oh, what a push coming out from Friction. He is renowned for being so good off these walls, and you can see why. It's just a little bit of a loose ball caused by that initial challenge. And Friction's up there. He gets the power, he gets the accuracy, he spots his half a second window, and it brings Critical Force their first game here in game number 3. They're going to be ecstatic about this, and suddenly in Anguni, they were looking so confident and almost destined for their first win. Now they've got to worry about being relegated to yet another draw.
That's not what you want to see. You gotta take this last game if you're Anguni. You gotta be able to take that to move up. And I mean, Alpha Force, though, if you don't want to be shoved even farther down in the rankings any more than you have to be, you gotta take this last series, remain in that second spot, remain up top so you can ensure your playoff time. But Anguni, I mean, I think Anguni's really the one fighting for the biggest opportunity right now. I mean, taking an actual dub, not a draw, not a loss, would be a huge change of pace for them in this series as well as the league this whole season. And then going into playoffs, I think would be a huge boost in that confidence and the mentality.
And it's very interesting to see this kind of matchup shaping up over the entirety, because, I mean, game number 1 was very obviously Anguni, and it just seems every game that gap has narrowed down until we've now hit that tipping point. And Zach, what do you think? Is this a pattern that's going to continue, or what is it that Critical Force, Alpha Force, has been able to do to be able to read their opponents and really bring it back into their own control?
I think a huge change that happened there in that last game was honestly the challenge game and the speed, the confidence to go up and challenge in this mid-air like we just saw there, as well as for some of these challenges, they know that when they take it head-to-head, oftentimes Anguni was just winning them. Now, for what particular reason? They're not exactly sure, maybe. Maybe it's the boost, maybe it's the way they're flipping. But instead of just taking head on, then they're faking them out. They're a little hesitation, letting Anguni feed them the ball and ended up just handing it off to them so they can win it over their heads as 2 go up here. And perhaps a big thing that Anguni has given Alpha Force, the fact that they've double committed on so many defensive plays in these last couple games, has really given the opportunity for Alpha Force to break forward and break away.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying that the double commits of Anguni were looking good actually previously, but now it's not. Now they're just going a little bit too recklessly, and it opens up the first goal for the first time. Alpha Force, led by their captain, gonna be able to sink this in a difficult angle. Technic waiting there, but that top right-hand corner, absolutely undefendable, unassailable shot comes through. And Alpha Force, the momentum has now completely shifted.
Going high here, Alpha Force. Going to control, but a huge challenge on the back line, and he clears it away from his teammate. Unfortunate for Nguni, who almost had a massive tie-up shot right there, but not quite going to happen. Lackstar, double reset attempt to the backboard. Now Friction going to go back, leave this one for Bigfoot, who takes to the sky, able to pop it up top. Blackstar, we're going to drop it down. He does get a smallest touch I have ever seen on a ball to just make sure the last opponent has no idea where that one's going. It just skims right underneath him, under that crossbar.
Oh, the calculated extra little boost from Bigfoot there of the defending Nguni player there gives Lackstar, and we saw I think it was Lackstar going up for a similar attempt earlier. It didn't come to fruition then, but there the finesse. Absolutely love to see it, and suddenly Alpha Force, they've taken a minute and a half. Well, they've taken 3 games to get to this point, but a minute and a half in this one has put themselves firmly in the driving seat, and now they want to stamp their authority. We are sitting second on the table for a reason. At worst, we are going to give you the draw. They have not suffered a loss just yet, and tonight they don't want to break history.
Ooh, a little fake out there. The patience from Nguni. Oh, but just blocked away. Alpha Force standing strong here. A shot should come through. Just blocked away off the post. The roller just won't quite happen here through the midfield, though. And Nguni still remaining on the offensive, trying to keep this push going. Off the ceiling is a defender, but it's not going to quite happen there. Nitro with the soft touch, but Friction is there to block it away. 2 players just waiting for the attack from Nguni as Blade goes to the backboard looking for a teammate, but Bigfoot clears it off to the side and looks for breakaway play.
Look at the optimism being shown by Nguni right now. They are hanging up so high on each of these plays, waiting for that synergy that they've used so well to prove. Just a bit of a loose ball, but Alpha Force stands strong. They turn it around. Nitro with work to do on the backboard. Clears it above there. Helped out by Technic to give it over. Friction looks for the pass towards the center. No one's close enough to really jump up to it, and the demo opens it up. Blade, the only one back right now, doesn't have work to do. As the double not completed there, and Nguni, while they don't manage to get a goal, at least they don't give up more of a lead.
Oh, it's a good pop high, but a player back on the defense. 2 on the backboard, though, and Blade awkward. So a little space opportunity for Alpha Force. Gonna pop it down here for the pass.
Okay.
A pinch shot, perhaps? It was a little confusing looking, but doesn't quite go on target. Now, a player behind the ball, but massive 50. Cleared to center. Bigfoot looking to fake out the player, but Nitro doesn't bite on it. He knocks it downfield, but the counterattack, double tap, not on target.
Just a little bit too quick for him to be able to get hold of that again. And yet Alpha Force, again, they're waiting, they're controlling this halfway line. A little bit of physicality puts Nitro out of position. Still has to go up, but all he can do is try to find it back towards his own teammate. Lackstar running interception. Technic also has a foot in the play there, and back and forth now. The tennis match continues. A minute left here, and in Nguni, where all the stars were shining for them, have suddenly now had to have their fortunes retold. Are they going to suffer their 5th draw out of the 6 games? And I mean, 45 seconds is not a lot of time to bring both goals back. Oh, there it is!
Opportunity. Technic gets the read on the pass, puts it home, and puts him on the board here in game number 4. Great attack here. Oh no, Friction was the one who put it center. Oh no! That has got to be unfortunate, but now you just got to fight to keep your lead. 36 seconds. Alpha Force can't concede another goal. Otherwise, they might just give up this series lead over to Nguni. Oh, but we got to wait and see here. Off to the side. Friction slamming that one down the field. And Nguni have got to get a breakaway play in the next 20 seconds here. But, I mean, Alpha Force is just swarming right now. The bumps and demos coming through. Breakaway play, though. Technic gets up to the backboard. Can he duck it in? No. Bigfoot off to the side. Blackstar looking for something here. It pops center. No, it pops out. Blade has to control this. Get it to the sidewall before it hits the ground at 0. Oh. Technic keeps it up. Will it drop here? Blade getting a soft touch. It pops up. They just have to keep this in the air. Try to get it around the field.
No.
Around the sidewall. Keep up with it. A huge dunk, though. And Alpha Force claim game number 4 and the draw.
Why did I have 100% faith that they were somehow going to bring that the entire way around the field? I don't know. In Goonie, they do magical things, but it is once more, like you say, Alpha Force, they stabilize, they read their opponents, and they develop match by match and manage to snatch a draw from the jaws of defeat there. And Goonie going to be heartbroken at the final result there. Eventually, at the end of the day, they do still win in terms of goal difference, but it's not going to help them progress up the leaderboards. And I think Critical Force, after the first 2 games, shook them quite badly. Going to be content to walk away. They're not climbing up, but I don't think this is going to drop them down too much either.
Yeah, I mean, a great showing from both teams. It was so strong in the beginning out of Nguni. But, I mean, Alpha Force brought it back, showed why they're number 2, why they can regain and just have that lockdown in mentality. And I think if this is a best of 5, I'm almost certain that Alpha Force would have took it game 5. And, you know, I think that's what that sort of RSS experience comes through of being able to, say, quote unquote, reverse sweep a team here. You know, really lock it in that way. But, of course, we see the series MVP is Nitro. And I mean, so many across the board, 11 shots, 11 saves, 1 goal, 1 demo, 2 assists, and 1,600 points.
Yeah, well deserved, I think, at that stage. And I mean, I commented about it. Nitro was being that bit of a playmaker in the first 2 games, and then always was able to get back and cover that goal line. Some clutch saves to keep them in the competition for as long as they did. But otherwise, an incredibly deadlocked game. I mean, ball possession exactly equal, field domination, a hair's breadth between the 2 of them. More saves actually forced out by the end of the game from Nguni, and I mean, the 2 goals extra that they got count for naught at the end of it. I mean, the boost consumption pretty high for both sides, just showing the pace and intensity that they were setting up. But I mean, as much as we enjoyed that, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm sure Greybeard did as well in this competition.
Greybeard most certainly did. Although I gotta say, Nguni, man, they are trying to draw their way into the playoffs. This is now their 5th draw. They are in 5th place. They may even go up a slot, having not won a series this season, which is just crazy. But I want to give a quick shout out. While you guys were casting that series, we had a massive raid from Rival Rush. So if anyone's still here from Rival Rush, big shout out to you guys. Thanks for the raid. Great to have you on board. And another interesting fact is that on either side tonight, we had Friction on the one side, Technic on the other. They were opponents in the VS Gaming Championships Grand Final just a few weeks ago. So that was an interesting dynamic. But Technic, who was with Unity, couldn't get the 1-up, just the draw. All right, gentlemen. Well, we've had our master tier. We're going to be going to Rival with the 2 of you in a moment. But first, I am going to have a chat with Lackstar from Critical Force. Alpha Force, Lackstar, also just out of VS Gaming a few weeks ago, as in your role as coach there. And tonight, Lackstar, we had Friction up against Technic, a 1/3 rematch from the grand finals.
Yeah, we did. It was quite funny, actually. I was thinking the entire way through. I was thinking, oh, here comes the rematch, just with a coach on the other side.
I actually want to talk first up about one of your opponents, which is Nitro. Now, Nitro is another player I've been aware of, but he was at LAN at VS Gaming last year. He was there this year, and he seems to be coming into his own. Very impressed with how Nitro's playing.
Yeah, no, he's been improving a lot recently. I've been really looking forward to see where he's going, because from probably a year and a half ago until now, he's gone from someone I'm like, oh yeah, he's pretty good, to okay, wait, he's pretty good. So yeah, I'm quite excited about him. There's a few of them actually.
Yeah,
a few of those types of players now.
There's definitely a bunch of up and comers, which is very exciting. But let's talk about tonight's series. On paper, you guys are a very strong team, and it also shows. I mean, you're second on the table, but my word, you struggle. What happened in the first couple of games?
Warm-ups.
The old classic. Well,
of course.
Either lagging or just warming up.
Just warming up. No, it was. I think we were literally just not in it yet. After game 2, game 1, I was like, okay, wait, these guys are kind of running over us now. And I just let it keep going until game 3. And then we said, okay, we need to do something about this because it's getting hectic. But no, they played well. We kind of didn't have boost most of the game, so we couldn't do much until we started putting some demos in. So. And
are you as a roster finding time to kind of scrim or play as a roster? I know, down if we look at a lot of the prospect teams are, they're taking this league very seriously and they're scrimming and they're having coaching and I think the approach of masters who are players such as yourself who've you've been around so long that you've retired and you're now a coach, and Friction who's been around for ages, so the approach is different. So is there a sense of like, okay guys, we need to scrim as a team, or are you kind of happy to just jump in and get the job done?
Well, Friction scrims every night basically, so we don't even have to like have him be practiced, I should say. But no, we don't really scrim. We've scrimmed maybe once, just as I joined Alpha Force. And after that, we don't really scrim all too much. There's a few times where you kind of just play against the prospects or try and help out where you can, but that's also quite seldom. So if we do, we do very little.
So you and the Kings are locked, pretty much tied at the top of the table there. The Kings will have their week 6 match tomorrow, and if they do better than a draw, they will sort of have a little bit of daylight between themselves and you. With 3 fixtures remaining, where do you feel the final placement is for Alpha Force?
I think it's probably going to be 1 or 2. It's. Yeah, this team that we just played is very, very good. I think they can kind of work themselves up again. But I don't think we've played Kings yet. Not that I know, but I would like to.
I think that's still to come. Yeah. Well, it's certainly coming. All right, Lackstar, well done for bringing it back. It's a draw. A draw is not as bad as a loss, but it's not as lacquer as a win. But you take it at the end of the day. Yeah, thanks, Lackstar. We'll catch you again.
Cheers.
And now we come to our final matchup of the night. We go back to Rival. And Ultrasm, it's always a joy to watch the Masters, but there's something about the more chaotic, the more chaosness of Rival and Prospect, which is coming up now.
You're 100% right. I mean, Masters, you're going, okay, you've got to get 10 things in a row perfectly. Some of the goals are a little bit more of a chaotic little lucky pinch or something like that, or the incredible, massive things. When it comes down to Rival, you have higher scoring games because the ridiculousness is there. It's a random jump here, and then an open ball there, and then a missed net there, and then suddenly sinks. And what I love to see is that it's people finding their own styles. And instead of playing this standardized meta, it's just random stuff go at every stage. It's so great to see these guys. And I love to see who's kind of like peeking their head out of the crowd here as to make a name for themselves to go further in the sport.
Well, let's see if it happens. Zectech Ultradom, take us through the chaos of our Rival and final match of the night.
All right, Zek, so I gave you like a little bit of a brief rundown of the rosters previously, but when we come here, I don't have a lot to offer, unfortunately, friend. again, a tale of two stories. Prolific 4-0-1, and Nightfall 1-1-3.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just looks like two teams that are kind of still working to find their groove, playing hard and playing well. But I think, because Prolific are the 2 seed right now, and Nightfall the 8 seed. So definitely a big matchup here to see if Nightfall can really jump ahead in these rankings, or if Prolific is just that team that's going to jump ahead to first place, as they are tied with Viola, I believe is how they would want that pronounced. It's not Voila. I believe Voila is OI. Anyways, tied for first, essentially, versus the team that is in 8th, in that sort of bottom 3. And so I think it's a big opportunity here for Nightfall to really jump ahead. But right now, Prolific, COLORCOLD, Mr. Crane, and NaVeDs? NaVeDs?
NaVeDs is right.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, great names again. I always find the SSA has some of the best names. NA, it's always these try-hard names like Knight, or I don't know. I mean, occasionally your scribbles, but like this is
you
great.
Don't have a
I love
fancy
this
lizard,
from SSA.
man. You don't have any fancy lizards. We've got them.
Yeah, the fancy Blizzards are all in SSA. So great to see it here with Prolific. And some ratings that I am familiar with seeing: 1440, 1330, 1265. I am very familiar with that range right there. So I think it's going to be a fantastic series. I think this is the range of rankings where you get players who have some crazy mix or some crazy good positioning, but doesn't quite have the full package yet. And that's where you're going to see these players individually shine. And like, where does the team, can the team make up for each other's individual improficiencies? And so can you have that sort of really good meshing of the different playstyles and strengths? Or does it come down to who can shoot faster and score more, or who's going to block every single shot or not? So we'll have to wait and see. But here we have Nightfall, Wavyza, Cherry, and Killer 999. Some great names here.
I like it. Again, these are players I don't know all that much, just making a name for themselves. NaVeDs, the one name I do recognize here. But again, this you look at Nightfall, you get like less of a points disparity, whereas on the other side, COLORCOLD kind of like sticking ahead above 40 points above even Wavy on this match. And so you do get this style. I mean, it's interesting to see how the teams adapt to that. Do you now allow someone like COLORCOLD to go and be this big spearhead, try and pull off all these mechanics, and then start something that one of your teammates can follow up? Or do you go for more of the synergy? Maybe you put that person as the stalwart third man defense and you let all the chaos erupt in front of you and then go in. Well, the story is yet to be told right now. All we know is that we do have a very obvious underdog right now, being Nightfall, and the very obvious favored being Prolific. And so we've got 4 games to go. The last one was seemingly also a disparity in the teams, and that one ended up being a contest down to the wire. We go now into our final game of the night here of week 6 in RSC SSA. It is going to be Prolific versus Shadow Nightfall.
And we kick it off here. And man, big boom here downfield, looking to pop it towards net. A shot perhaps, but COLORCOLD able to block that one away. And a double demo though to open things up here. The player speeding in, looking for the double tap off the backboard. Can't quite get it down. So the drop down here, but backing it up, a little fake out. Shot on net, is it open? No, a player is there. And we are already seeing the absolute chaos of this rank, but you love to see it. It is so much fun to just see what absolutely will pop off here and what's just going to be the absolute most ridiculous goal we'll see tonight.
Ridiculous goal. Like you say, the weird mechanics that can come out right now. People who have obviously spent a lot of time practicing them, but haven't really perfected them to be able to do it every single time. And so you get someone who's like missing open balls and then musty flips into a backboard read or something like that. Freaking amazing. Absolutely keen to see it right now. And it's going to be who as a team can kind of control the space as the ball ricocheting around and pinballing from one side to the other. Optimistic challenge comes out from COLORCOLD, but the second attempt from NaVeDs is there, and Mr. Crane has to send it back towards their own team. No, sorry, the color of the car threw me for just a second there. It is still Prolific on the attack right now, and NaVeDs trying to force it out of the corner.
Big shot here off to the side, so Killer Code gonna try to pop this up for a teammate, perhaps downfield behind the defender, and Wavy's gonna put that one in. Beautiful bottom right shot.
Great pass comes off there. Killer Code manages to pick it up and get some speed into the transition. The connection after that was right there. The placement was great, and it doesn't have to be flashy to be successful. At the end of the day, the scoreboard doesn't show how it came to be, and Nightfall are going to be happy that they have picked this up, but immediate reply comes out from Prolific on the other side. An awkward bounce out of the corner, all of it set up by NaVeDs, and this was a great little bit of fake comes out there, not wanting to get anyone from Nightfall involved in that and give Color Code the space. He makes it count.
Now stepping up here, Killian trying to take this around through the midfield. A big flip reset pass perhaps, but blocked out there. Now two players pushing forward to try and help out here. Killer Code off to the side, turn up, maybe try to send for a teammate, but you're still too close to the net. Now big booming shot off the side and down the other side of the field here. A little fake out. The net is wide open. The last man has no boost. Wavy puts in another one.
Oh, the jump was there. Wavy manages to from actually no position. This is what we were talking about. How is that a goal at this stage? But there's two players still on their own goal side of it. They just don't have the reactions. They don't have the boost. Those pads, man, they start to stack up by the end of a game like this. And I mean, that goal, Nightfall going to be ecstatic for that Christmas gift come early. Now they've got 2.5 minutes to defend this 1-goal lead or try to look to extend it further.
Going up, looking for some backboard reach perhaps, but Killer Code is there. Now awkward again off this corner. No one's picked up that boost yet. Killian downfield, one on the back line here. It's a massive 50 dunk, and Killian's just gonna ram that one in.
Killian with such control right now, picks it up, takes it, and I mean, you don't need some sort of mechanics when you can just bully your way through the back line. A little bit more of a proactive challenge could have come out from Prolific, but instead, that doesn't come out, and instead they take another goal down to their detriment. A 2-goal lead now all for Nightfall, and I mean, they're starting to really feel the confidence in it. Color Code hesitates for just a second, ends up just settling for a 50 at that stage, and now Color Code again just jumping a little bit too ambitiously, almost in a rushed way, manages to put himself out of the play, and once more Nightfall, they're the ones taking a look at the goal side.
Lots of challenges here, a little awkward, but I'm trying to work their way around. Couldn't quite get that dribble touch. It's off to the center, but not just gonna be cleared away yet. There's Killian with the big clear. Killer Code is up to redirect this one off the corner, drop down center. The touch off to the side, Wavy can't quite do it there. It's over a defender though, but also cleared away. And these bounces are just absolute chaos right now. Everyone's struggling to figure out where it's going to go, who's putting it on target, who's actually shooting it, and can Wavy get this block? Yes, Killer Code off to the side. Nightfall not getting scored on just yet, but it's still an attack from Prolific, left and right. Can they bring it around? Zero boost across the goal line. That is the type of guts you want to see out of these players.
Oh, they really are tenacious right now. They know they have to be a minute left on the board and still waiting to get those goals back there. An attempt at a bit of a demo onto Killer Code, but avoids that and uses the patience to buy the time down. The seconds ticking away ever onwards is Prolific now. Their assault was there, but again, it's that chaos that you talked about. The big shots, the booming clears don't seem to be there for a purpose. They're not. They're trying to hit the ball and then catch up to it. Now a bit of an attempt from Prolific, but I mean, there was chaos again between NaVeDs and Cold, and Mr. Crane gonna pick up a goal there despite the presence of what looked like a strong defense.
Quick turn in the midfield, slams it home, and Killer Code just couldn't quite get up to get the right angle to clear that one away. So now only a 1-goal deficit here, 35 seconds left on the clock. They got the time, they just have to have a good push here. They can really hone in their control. A massive Massive dunk there to put it to the backboard. It's off to the sidewall. Aiming to follow it up. Not yet. Off to the side. It's Killian to follow this one up. A pinch trying to come out from Mr. Crane, but it's NaVeDs to try to follow that one up. A demo comes through, but only one player back now. Mr. Crane having to defend this. It goes center. Popped out. Great turn there from NaVeDs.
That was actually a stylish play of just as effective of one. Now, can they manage to keep it alive? They cannot. Nightfall has just done too much damage. And I mean, flashiness aside, it's not going to win you games. And it kind of seems to be the general feeling right now. I don't know if you're with me there, Tech. It's just, it feels like Bro is booming the ball away, chasing after it, trying for these big flashy players when they could afford to slow it down and keep a little bit more control.
I gotta agree with you there. It just seemed like Prolific is really, hesitant to maintain control of this ball, just how fast and how many challenges Nightfall are throwing at them. And so they are panicked. They're like, okay, I don't want to get challenged or dunked, so I gotta throw this ball away. And then it just goes right into the back hands of Nightfall, and they catch in their own half, and they just return it right at you. And Prolific is just trying to make something out of nothing. But I think what needs to happen here is being able to control it into space, into area where Nightfall isn't, so that they don't get those challenges. Try to take control of where you're getting challenged, how you're getting challenged, instead of just trying to, take whatever challenge Nightfall is throwing at you and then booming the ball downfield. Nightfall right now, a lot of great connections, good control, and good touches. Not always on target or where you need it to go, but the fact they are maintaining that overall pressure and team possession is what I think ultimately winning them this game.
Yeah, couldn't agree more at that stage. And this is the thing about RSC. Even in week number 6, where we think we have a pretty clear-cut victor from the beginning, they love to just make it difficult for us as casters to make any sort of valuable predictions. As we head into game number 2, Nightfall now with one game up, and it might be that, it might be that Prolific came into this feeling like, oh, this is going to be an easy one. We've had a good run so far. This is a team that we're kind of counting out already. And so they turn off their brain, and at the end of the day, they could just play, and it'll work itself out at the end. Now, though, they've been scared and have to come back in with a little bit more certainty and understanding on what they want to do. And it's a good start from NaVeDs. Forces out 2 players. The ball down towards COLORCOLD, who's playing this slowly, manages to time his challenge well to pop it up there. Even follows it up with a demo, and this one going to be engaged into Mr. Graham, but a little bit slow on the jump. COLORCOLD going to be there and puts in a valuable shot. In fact, it is going to be a goal to start off this. The presence was there, the slow build-up was there, good turn in the center from COLORCOLD. Has the awareness that they've got there, all the advantage that they've built up, and they at least take first blood in game number 2.
Great speed, great ability to read that ball out of Prolific. And starting off the scoring here is going to be huge for them, because it does just seem like once they get something on the board, they get a little confidence in them, they start to play a little bit better. But they gotta get a little bit better control and put this ball somewhere where their teammates can control it. But COLORCOLD is going to absolutely read that ball and slam it home between the defenders.
This is great proactive play. Just gets himself into an aggressive position and is there to say, Nightfall, you are all retreating. You're facing the wrong way. If you make a single slip up, I'm going to punish you for it. And lives up to that promise immediately. Prolific have been burnt, it feels like. And now they're ready to come back with a vengeance into this game. But they need to be careful. Immediately, KillerCode into the attack down there. They go, we're not the only one who make mistakes. And Fluid Wavy. I mean, this double touch off the backboard there to send it down between the Prolific players is more than you could have ever asked for as a pass.
Great connection there, and Prolific have got to watch that backboard. If they can control that back line and the ability to really put balls off the backboard, I think they're going to shut down a lot of opportunities out of Nightfall as 2 players commit there, trying to make a play happen. But now it's a turnaround. Mr. Crane trying to make it happen here off the backboard. Oh, it's a team double touch back. Oh, woo! No, Mr. Crane will get credited with it, but it's an own goal.
I mean, KillerCode, I actually 100% believe KillerCode was actually shooting for that net. That was an amazing play if it was on the right side of the field. Unfortunately, like you say, Prolific going to be gifted that goal right back up, and all the hard work done previously comes to naught as Nightfall once more looking for a shot in here. The touch is soft. There's going to be an extra shot going out there, and it's just nothing as Mr. Crane again. More players of Nightfall looking at the wrong side of the field. These colors are throwing not just me off, it seems.
Big boom there. Opportunity now around the corner. It's awkward.
Oh.
COLORCOLD puts it in. Just touching it behind the defense. Great patience to wait for that ball to bounce up and over. Soft touch toward net. And the defense just wasn't ready to read that one. And it is a 4-1 game. Huge lead here for Prolific.
Man, those corners, those bounces out of the corners, they have given every Rocket League player nightmares at one stage or another, and just Killian unable to get that commits into it. It was too much. And Prolific, this has got to be where they're feeling comfortable, but they cannot afford to rest on their laurels, right? We saw what that did to them in game number 1. If they let that mentality get to them, 3 goals is comfortable right now. I don't know if Nightfall are going to be able to range that back to their side. Still lots of time to do it. But it would be nice for Nightfall at least to just get themselves a little bit more stable again, and if they can just go the rest of the game without giving up any goals and finding 1 or 2 themselves, I think they'll be happy going into game number 3.
Circling around here, Nightfall looking for a goal, an opportunity, but they just can't quite seem to find the connection yet. It's a little 1-2 here off the side while they're keeping this on the red half of the field. Great control there. But they just can't quite seem to find a way to get it right in front of the net where they can shoot it or out to a player who's got an open shot. Now it's a clear down field. Prolific going to chase this one down, try to put it center. Going to wait for this ball to bounce off backboard, look for the shot, but the defense is there for it.
I think that's something that definitely gets punished at the higher levels of RSC or RLCS. You do not let a ball drop down like that in your back line. And I mean, COLORCOLD has shown that they're not afraid. I mean, even Mr. Crane has been even more proficient in the air, or at least more committed. Now, though, Nightfall has a bit of a breakaway. COLORCOLD going to try for the flick, but it is going to be well defended and immediately handed off for the counter-attack. Wavy has a long way to go if he wants to try carry this. Not all the boost to work with as well. At least manages to regain with Killian on the other side. And Nightfall, oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Now there's a shot from the corner.
What even happened here? Wavy, big pinch with Killian. Killian follows it down and just absolutely stays in the air to get the redirects in back corner. Oh my goodness. Beautiful shot, and great job on Killian to just use that boost to follow that ball up.
I mean, Ender in chat, you have hit the nail on the head. Shot of the week contender right there. I mean, that was just the handoff was good. Killian came through with aggression. And I mean, we talked about reading it out of the corner being an impressive task at the best of times. Be able to follow that with a double touch like that's beautiful. And let's see if Nightfall, I mean, if nothing else, that's lit up the chat for Nightfall. And they're going to be, I think, inspired for the rest of the series.
Oh, good shot, though.
Oh.
Killian putting another one in, and Nightfall is closing that gap now. And single-handedly, thanks to Killian here, smasher up there. The defense wasn't ready for it. COLORCOLD didn't quite get that touch. And now within 1 minute left on the clock, Nightfall here to try to lock this game in and tie it up, take us to overtime, and maybe even a dub within regulation.
Oh, Wavy was coming through then. A little bit of miscommunication. That could have been everything Nightfall needed to lock up this game. But Prolific looking staggered, looking shaken again. They just don't think about their positioning as well. I mean, the players are around the right place, but I mean, even something small as getting your car the wrong angle is going to make these saves harder. And so far, Nightfall's been able to punish it. Killian especially on that last shot. Now, Prolific want to at least get 1 goal back, or at least just keep the ball down this side of the field. Stop Nightfall from having that clinch down. Kirica takes this guy. No one's up there to challenge. The pass was there, but the pass intercepted by a good proactive play. No one going up for this, though. Nightfall going to have a second shot, and with 10 seconds left, this is all that they needed. They're going to have a chance. Killian got 2 shots in himself. Now it's someone else's turn. Can Kirica keep this alive and puts it down? After the valiant attempt, it is going to be Prolific taking game number 2.
Oh, and Nightfall tried to bring it back there at the end, but ultimately Prolific's lead and aggression and ability to score in the first earlier parts of the game was just too much to overcome. And I mean, just so many shots off to the wayside. But I mean, a brilliant goal to Killian, who absolutely stepped up there the last half of the game. Just couldn't quite pull his team through, though. Wavy and Kirica got to communicate on those shots and those offensive opportunities there so they can get those passes and handoffs really flowing well. But now we are tied up in the series 1-1.
1-1 right now. It really does give credits to Shadow. I mean, even that last game was not a dominant victory. Bro, when they are concentrating, when they're focused, look like an unstoppable team. But then they get themselves a lead and just sit back a little bit. They're not going for the jumps. I mean, even then, the last 10 seconds, throw someone at it. Please don't give the complete control to your opponents there. You cannot afford to think, oh, we've got this in the bag at any stage. So that Bro has at least seen that they've got their game. They're going to be happy about that. They are, of course, going for that #1 spot, but they've given up 1 point. A draw here would be devastating for their chances at the #1 spot. I mean, even now, you would have really wanted to come into this very favored game with a clean 4-0, and Nightfall is not prepared to give them that quarter at any stage.
And we kick off game number 3. An opportunity to take the lead here and start to threaten your opponent with that victory. Here we see Kirica and Wavy pushing forward here. It's pop center, but no one's there for it because everyone pushed up. Now Killian's got to get back. A great touch there. Oh, huge 50. It's launched downfield. So COLORCOLD is going to make a touch there. It's around the side, though. Off a little passing play, though. Counter opportunity, but just not going to go on target. Off to the side. Over 1, though. Opportunity, again, smash towards net, but off to the side it goes. And it's just so much pressure to COLORCOLD right now.
Oh.
The drop-down shot, it's in!
COLORCOLD has been fast. That's the one thing. In the beginning, it was taking a little bit of a time to warm up and actually get the connections, but the speed to get up to that, and then the angle just completely caught the whole of this Nightfall side off guard there. They pushed up thinking that they were going to have an opportunity to make some strides down the field, and COLORCOLD just immediately says, oh no, we're not done yet. I'm here, I'm there for the shot, and now it's Nightfall. They're having the shots, and NaVeDs somehow stands still and gets that out off the baseline as Nightfall are so close. A couple of flashes is all they're going to be treated to, though, and immediately now need to start the build-up from their own side of the field.
COLORCOLD through the midfield here, but it's a huge clear by COLORCOLD. Now Wavy through the midfield, gonna get challenged by Fancy Lizard, who is subbed in, actually, and gonna get a goal on the board. Look at that.
Super sub comes in right now. It is going to be Mr. Crane who's sat out, and immediately the fanciest Lizard we have shows off the skills and says, don't forget about me. Only 5 points below NaVeDs. Certainly a valuable sub to have on your backline, and sets Prolific up with a second goal.
Ooh, shot opportunities coming through for Nightfall right now, but just blocked away. An attack here, though. A big dunk, but no one able to follow it up. COLORCOLD gonna back off here. And now Fancy Lizard going downfield, driving it down. The super sub looking to make some plays here. As again, here it is a 1-2 little thing here. Now Prolific trying to make it happen. It goes to the back line, but there's 2 players back, able to maintain some control, grab some boost, and push their way forward, perhaps. But no, another player in the midfield will keep it going. Off to the side, here's a touch. Can they get it on target off the backboard? It's down center. But it is just a defensive player there, ready for it. Another pop center, though, but COLORCOLD able to pop it towards mid.
Good touch from Killian, just creates some space, gives his team the chance to turn around. 2 people commit towards it. Wavy's jumped awkwardly, and he's not going to be able to get it. Lizard gets treated to a second goal, and it just comes down. Oh, it's Rivals Chaos once more. 2 people into it. Wavy has all the time in the world, and that gold defense and goalkeeper pack waiting there for him to go revisit after this game.
The super sub showing up here for Prolific as Lizard gets 2 goals to his name. NaVeD going up, COLORCOLD putting it on target, but COLORCOLD is there, and that's a tongue twister that Fancy Lizard doesn't care about. He's going to put it on target.
Hat-trick comes out for the sub, going up into the air. Couple of checks on the players here, and Killian, once more, it's going to actually be a little bit of an own goal attempt there, or at the end of the day, I still think that was Lizard. The shot was 99%, just needed a little bit more. It was too much, and Prolific once more with the most comfortable lead that they can. Do not take your foot off the pedal, though. Nightfall is still here, and COLORCOLD doesn't seem to have any intention to do that.
A lot of pressure here now. Lizard once again putting it center to go up. A massive quit on field. So Killer Code is looking to maybe touch up to a teammate. Around one off the post. There's the follow-up. Wavy gets one on the board for Nightfall. Their first of the game with just under 2 minutes left to go.
Oh, just the smallest hesitation comes out from the Prolific players as they try to recalibrate where that ball is coming off, and the same cannot be said about Nightfall. They are immediately into the attack. It's only taken a couple of seconds, so 2 minutes, just short of 2 minutes, still up for grabs here, and they could still get those 3 goals. Immediately back into the attack afterwards, going to cramp up COLORCOLD, and Killian has come off the backboard. He's going to have a touch towards us. NaVeDs challenge is good, though. Waxy trying to find a third man in the center, but no one going to be pushing up for them, and instead it's going to be handed off straight away back to the Prolific spot. But COLORCOLD, he hasn't done enough with it. This ball's not out just yet.
Downfield, wavy to the corner here. Get it off the backboard. Third to the midfield. Perhaps a teammate can take it now. Not quite. No one grabs that boost, so they can't take control. Now Killian has to go here out of the back line. Flip reset. Does get it past one player. Wavy past 2. Killian on the backboard towards the center for a teammate. A shot to come through. Is anyone there? Yes! COLORCOLD blocks it away.
Big save coming up there. He had to jump. The shot had all the power in the world, and now Nightfall, they are going to have to retreat a little bit. Good intercept gives Waxy a little bit of space, but quick challenge comes up from Lazy. He's actually going for the demo. The bump attempt was there, knowing his teammates were going to have a more powerful shot, but manages to avoid it. Is the Prolific back line, and instead, the Nightfall back line. Prolific, though, forced onto their own side of the field now, and to be able to once more go forward. They're happy, though, as long as this timer is going down. 30 seconds is now almost impossible for Nightfall to make it the way back.
Wavy going up. It goes down, it drops down in front of the net, but COLORCOLD can't put it in, just drives on by. A huge miss there. They're going to want that one back as we hit the last 10 seconds. It's rolling towards net. Not going to go in, though, but it does look like Prolific will take game number 3 and will happily settle for either a victory or a draw in this series. They cannot lose. That's what you'll love to see out of the number 2 rated team.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. It seems like everything is settled back into normalcy. Points abundant there for the Bros side. NaVeDs falling a little bit behind because he's playing that third man role, but between COLORCOLD and Fancy Lizard with a full-on hat-trick comes through there and lifts the team onto his shoulders and takes a full assertion of this game. Suddenly Shadow left far behind, and with that, Bros secures themselves at worst a draw right now as we go into game number 4. Shadow would have loved after game number 1 to have a better look at it, but I mean, even if they could pull off a draw, I think they're going to be okay with that against seed number 2.
Yeah, right now it just looks like Nightfall trying to just pull out a draw at the moment, try to get it back. They looked great game number 1, and then, like you said, back to normalcy. Prolific dominating on so many of those attacks and the ability to connect with one another, put things on target. And I mean, the super sub coming in, smashing it on net and putting it home. That's what you love to see, but it just needs to really pull together right now for Nightfall.
Do you believe that Nightfall can do it? This is where I like to interrogate my co-caster and go, the series as a whole has been so hard to predict at any stage, but Prolific seem to have found, 4 goals in 2 games in a row is a pretty good stat for them to be holding on their shoulders.
Yeah, I think Nightfall is absolutely capable so long as they can get their communication flowing once again, because they had some great opportunities, but it just came down to not knowing who was going to commit for it, who was taking a boost, And so it just kind of let things go by the wayside. But here we see some good pressure, some good passing plays, an opportunity for a redirect, but just not quite going to come through here as they push off the bat. Killian's going to put it home. Nightfall's on the board.
That is such a great read coming out there. Big 50 to set it up high. And Prolific, they've got 2 players around, but they have to watch it impotently as it sails over their head. And the read, the touch, the power that comes as a result of it, all good. Killian, the top goal scorer so far from Nightfall. And if they do manage to pull it to a draw, I think that is a person that they have to give a lot of credit to.
Big dribble there, trying to get something to go, and going to steal the boost. Does get booms downfield, but some space to work with off to the sidewall, so perhaps they can get another push here, but COLORCOLD beats the player. Killing on the back line. Oh, there's a communication coming through, and no one's in net, so COLORCOLD takes the open shot, ties it up, and Nightfall's downfall comes once again in the double commit.
COLORCOLD has been so aggressive when it comes to his positioning on these uncertain plays. He cramps them up, and that's twice in a row that we've seen that come to such a great conclusion for him there. He's just always present, has full confidence in his teammates behind him to be able to go through. Big save comes out from Fancy Lizard, though, as all of the Nightfall players wanted to get involved in that. None of them could get the extra touch that was needed, and suddenly Prolific find their way down the other side of the field. Killian makes sure that that visit is short-lived, though. 2 players now of theirs committed to the corner. Eventually, Killian does go out and leaves it up to Wavy, who can't find that extra pass. Got Killer Code in tow, but NaVeDs' tenacity is holding them still in the play. Once more, the final pass just not coming to anything. Killer Code gonna have the shot. It's an awkward little bounce, and Killer Code gonna have all the time to react to that they need. And so while Nightfall is taken an extended sabbatical down this side of the field, not going to be able to come up with anything just yet as NaVeDs finally gets the clear out.
Big demos coming through, meaning there's only one player to stop down the midfield. It's just going to happen there in the 50. Killer Code now taking boost, actually, and rotating through, looking for the bumps. I think it's a great play, actually, from Nightfall. Look for more of these physical plays, maximize their positioning, so that even if they do double commit or triple commit, they are still getting value out of their play and making it difficult for Prolific to break away. So I think it's a great way to also compensate for some of your miscommunications or double commits, if that's just how your rotation really feels its best.
Yeah, I mean, when it's a slower play like that, oh, the shot is huge! Wavy picks this up and sends it across the mouth of the goal there. Don't know if he was looking for the pass, but the 50 was there, and the immediate read before it even comes down ricochets over COLORCOLD. And Nightfall, they are not done with the series just yet. 2.5 minutes to go, and they've been really good at looking to gain more momentum as time is going on.
Now Prolific looking to try to come back here. Half the game left to go. Double tap lineup. Looking for a little fake actually for a teammate. The follow-up shot is just off to the side. So Prolific, that attempt to go to the wayside here. Trying to maintain control. A back pass actually. Big pinch there, big shot. But Killian able to intercept here off to the side wall. Only have a follow, so it's a backboard throw. Looking for a shot perhaps off to the backboard once again. Can they put it on target? Not quite going to happen. So it's Killian with the clear here as Fancy Lizard has to go back and play defense.
A nice counter attack there from Nightfall. They're setting themselves up well. Wavy denied in the corner. This is where Nightfall's play that we saw earlier, taking the boost and then going for the demo, is such a heads-up play that they could utilize more. Is when you know your opponents have still got 3 people in net and you've got all 3 people behind you. It's that very neutral play. To get it out of the corner a reliable way is a difficult task to ask. So instead, change it up. Make your first man not on the ball, but instead going for those plays and just clear out the back line. Fortunately, they haven't tapped into that superpower just yet and are now faced with a challenge, one that Killer Code is up to the task of, but Prolific hanging around as we head to the last minute. Prolific need to pick this goal up if they want to take the victory in here, but Nightfall going to be fighting this till the last seconds.
Through the midfield, NaVeDs feeding it to another player, but the defense is there. The 1-2 pass, no one's back. It's a freebie. Killer Code takes another goal for Nightfall. as a nail in the coffin of Prolific as they try to get this draw, secure it. 49 seconds left, and Nightfall are fighting for every last inch they can get.
One of the big things about Rivals is that you've got to try and connect all the dots together. Otherwise, you can sell your own teammates short. They're up with you. They're supporting you. And at the end of the day, when you do miss that one little touch or it's just a bit too far out of reach and your opponents get to it fast, the counter-attack is up there. And Nightfall's been doing such a good job of those counter-attacks throughout the series. Prolific now looking in the final 30 seconds for an equalizer. There's one of them of the two that they need. And once more, it's El Capitan, COLORCOLD, living up with all the C's to pick up the pass from the NaVeDs. It was flawlessly executed, and Nightfall left with no answer to that. They've only got one goal now to defend.
Beautiful center pass, but they got to keep that flowing. They need that communication to keep going. The passes to happen here, as there's so much space to use on this field, but you got to capitalize and maximize what you're able to do here. Opportunity as they keep the pressure on. Trying to steal a boost, but a huge clear from Killer Code. Trying to put this one center. It does bounce. Now COLORCOLD has to put some pressure on here. Take it downfield. 5 seconds left. It is on the Nightfall half of the field. So Prolific's last attempt here as it hits 0 seconds. Keep it up. Keep it going. Can they? No! It is shut down. Nightfall take the draw.
Well, there it is. 2 of our matches here tonight for the 2 of us here, for myself and ZekTech. And at the end of them, neither team, out of the 4 teams, we didn't have a single victor. Shadow going to be ecstatic. I mean, after game number 1, it really looked like they had a chance to take the series for themselves. But pulling it back at the very end, once more, bro, after 2 definitive victories, they just left their foot off the gas there. A couple of missed opportunities. And I mean, at the end of the day, they do say that Rocket League is an art form, but we didn't expect you to draw this much.
Yeah, I mean, teams really showing their adaptability here today and the ability to maintain momentum and also regain momentum after taking some heavy losses and come back and take some victories, take some good hits. And of course, we see the series MVP here, COLORCOLD, 10 shots, 7 goals, 2 assists, 7 saves, and 4 demos with a 2,000 point score. What a way to put it up. I mean, 7 goals out of your 10 shots. That is a 70% shot accuracy. He is locked in this series.
Yep, highest CMV points there, and for good reason at the end of the day. The weird thing is when I look at these stats, it does kind of tell a little bit more of the story. I think COLORCOLD was playing phenomenally well, especially on those proactive pushes forward when the ball was neutral. But everyone really came to the fore for all the teams. You know, COLORCOLD, Mr. Crane, NaVeDs, they held it steadily as a team throughout the first 2 games. Fancy Lizard was a great substitution in. Wavy was great. I mean, Killian was phenomenal on the shots there. We saw Killer putting in some great attempts, and at the end of the day, only 2 goals between them. A couple of shots going the way of Shadow that they just didn't manage to clinch at the end there. More saves coming out from Bro actually at the end of the day, and I mean, once more, pretty locked in terms of ball possession and field domination. So a tight game coming out there, and at the end of the day, Greybeard, a satisfying result, a deserved result.
Well, I think the word for the night has got to be even Stevens. This our 3rd drawn series of the night. Only the Jokers way back in Series 1 getting a series win tonight. And after game 1, I was... Shadow have had such a rough opener first half of the season, and I thought, man, they're going to be making a comeback. They looked so good in game 1. And then suddenly they were 2 down. I was like, we're back to normal. But I think for them then a good result. ZekTech a draw, given where they are and how it's been going. I mean, a draw is never as satisfying as a win, of course, but given where it is, it's got to be good for them.
Yeah, I mean, a little lack of satisfaction. As an American, you tell us there's a draw happening and there's going to be riots in the streets. But I think for the SSA, you know, that draws are fantastic. I think it is an excellent way to run the system. And I mean, I think it's going to help move them up in these rankings still. Getting those 2 victories and showing that they are even Stevens with one of the highest rated teams in the league is going to be a fantastic showing for them and a real confidence booster going forward.
All right. Well, gentlemen, you've done a stellar job. Thank you for bringing these 2 series, 2 very good series, but even Stevens series. So ZecTech Ultratham, thank you very much. And we are going to have an interview, and we always want to get the winning interview from the winning team. But with all the draws, we then flip a coin, and we're going to be speaking to the general manager of Shadow, and there he is, Mutz himself. Good to have you in, Mutz.
Hello.
So I mean, Mutz, you are one of the more experienced people, but between your work in ERS, RSC EU, RSC SSA, you've been around a long time. But man, Shadow having a rough time. And so how do you feel with the draw, given how your season's gone so far? You happy with the draw?
I mean, Prolific is a very strong team. They have proven that they are on top of the table, not for no reason. And to be fair, there are a few things that have not gone this season as well. A few hap-ups that have cost us quite a bit. We currently now 1-7 in those 2 series that we could have actually just gotten 6-2 from.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those 2 were a little bit of unfortunate circumstances. However, there is also the thing that we have not played a lot of main roster, actually. Like, I think the only time we played our highest 3 DSM or ZMB players was in week 1.
Wow,
So-
okay. Well, then tell me, what's the outlook for the final 3 fixtures? Are you going to get main roster in there for all of the remaining 3 and hopefully get into a playoff position?
I mean, definitely hope so. It will also depend on our opponent's availability. But then at the end of the day, we still have to play Vanguard, Momentum, and Jax. So with 2 of those being bottom teams and Jack being Sfaulcon's org, so that is 3. It is more than doable, and I think with an up to 12 wins from here, it's not looking too bleak, to be fair.
And across all the tiers, how many? What would you be happy with in terms of teams making it into playoffs, whether it's through play-ins or top 2? Across the tiers, how many would you be happy with and go, okay, that's not a bad season?
In general, I'm always happy with at least 1 team, but this season, I'm 100% sure we can get 100% of our teams into play-ins at the very least.
Okay.
With our prospect team making a decent challenge for top 2, as well as Elite being currently in contention with the other 2 top team. Not only it is in general really close in Elite. And Master has had a 4-0-2 day, and the Nightfall will be making its comeback in due time. Just to be safe. And at the end of the day, it's a postseason that counts. Who gets a title?
As always, yes, the league only counts for so much. You're quite right. Well, Mutz, a star-high goal. I wish you the greatest of luck in pursuit of that. And thanks for coming in and having a little chat with us.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers, Mutz. And there we have it. 4 series done and dusted. We're pretty much at the closing end, the back end of week 6 of league play. Just 3 more to go, 7, 8, and 9. And then it is time for playoffs. So lots still to happen. Lots of drama to play out on the pitch. And as I leave, I want to remind those who, well, not everyone was here at the start. We're looking for a streamer for the weekend. If you want to help us stream and broadcast the Rebellion Grand Finals, please get in touch with me. We need some assistance with the broadcast of that, so you're welcome to get in touch. And stay tuned for some big news on what we're going to do for the final 3 weeks and for the playoff broadcasts. But in the meantime, I want to thank everyone involved in tonight's production, our casters, Rhino and Skilton at the beginning, and then Ultrazim and Zektek. And in the background, making things possible, Deploy, Daniel, and then also our match admin, Q, hanging in there, herding the cats into the lobby and making sure those run smoothly. And it is the combination of all that work that makes this magic possible. So from us, thank you very much. And of course, chat, everyone hanging out in chat and being here. Rival Rush for the big raid. And that will wrap it up for week 6 of league play. See you on the weekend for the grand finals of the Rebellion, on Monday for Just Saying episode 8, and next Thursday for week 7 of week play, of league play. We are going to raid a little moose who's just started streaming, so we want to get some support, get him a bit of a following. So stick around for at the end of the stream to go and raid little moose and go and say how's it to him from RSC. But that'll be all. Peace.
And what a shot from Kirica, taking that off the ceiling, underneath the ball, and straight down the middle.
Oh, there it is, out of the blue!
2 seconds left on the clock, and the Joker finds something out of nothing!
Now, that pass from Shadow was immaculate, playing it straight down center. He just had to get a touch, and it's all he needed.
Sonic has a chance, it's an open net if he sees it. Looking for the shot downfield, goes into the corner, Kilogram! He gets the goal!
They're just in front of the net. Nuke barely keeps it out there. Dies on the goal line. The last shot, it finds it through. Into Z, gonna pick it up.